What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Most Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good, man?
Man, vibed out the huge. Can't complain. Never will. Never have. Probably have. But can't remember it, so it's all good. Other than that, man, I'm great, man. How about you, though, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. Nothing too eventful recently.
Okay. Well, that's a positive.
We're just getting through the dog days of summer here.
Oh, it's the dog days? It's not dog days, man. We're in the good times right now, man.
No, dog days, you're right. Dog days are more of July, early August.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We vibed out right now. I'm definitely enjoying this particular time of year for us, man. This is like the busy time, but it's the fun time too, because it becomes less about, like we said, having to get creative and more so just we get to react and we get to look forward to certain things, man. So yeah, I'm vibed out with that, man. We also get a chance to talk to a former Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl champion, WVU alum as well, Mike Logan, man. He'll be joining us at that 5 o'clock time frame.
He used to play for the Jaguars, too.
Absolutely. Now, I just want to throw this out there. I'm not trying to bring on a whole bunch of WVU guys. I know that's what it might be feeling
I was
like.
waiting for Wes.
I'll just chill you up, saying like I'm not throwing all the WU guys on you. It just
we got Pat White in the books.
You know what I mean? Like I just so happen to know more WU Steelers than Pitt Steelers. That's it. You know what I mean? The Pitt Steelers I know, one's in AZ right now. All right, he's still in AZ right now.
Who's that?
James Conner. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, I can't hit him up to ask him about this type of stuff. So, you know, it's just so happening that it's, you know, those type of guys, man. But either way, it's always going to be good to talk with him, man. Like I said, that's at the 5 o'clock time frame. Mike Logan joining us. So definitely excited about that. But, yeah, man, we got plenty to discuss, man. Obviously, we got a game we're going to preview.
Got
Second
quotes.
Preseason game. Absolutely. Got new quotes from people that, you know, move the needle, whether they're on offense or defense. This one being on defense. So, you know, we're going to have to, you know, react to some of that and discuss some of those comments. And we also got new information, new movement on the offensive side of the ball that definitely needs to be talked about at that quarterback position. So with that being said, man, let's get this show started the way we always do. Let us know where you are tuning in from, and we'll give you those big boy shout outs, man. So let's get it.
Jacob Alessia. 919 NC in the house.
Let's go.
As always.
Always rapping, isn't he? He's always rapping.
Daryl Silk, or is that Daryl Slike?
It's actually whatever you want.
I need new glasses, actually, because it's pretty blurry to me.
Oh, no.
I need new glasses, maybe.
Now, you said you still
either that or LASIK. I've been wanting LASIK. But you told me,
you said, I thought you was like hesitant on the LASIK. You said you want to do it too soon, right?
What was my reasoning?
I don't know. I thought at the time you was like something like, I'm young, and it's only gonna last a certain amount of time, or something. I don't remember. It was like 2 years ago we had this conversation, so I could be all the way off. Don't worry.
The only reason I wouldn't want to get LASIK, to be honest with you, is the glasses are part of the brand.
I think you should.
They kind of are.
You wear the glasses just without the prescription. That's it, man.
I can't do that. I just have to rebrand. Rebrand. That's all.
Fair enough.
You're gonna have to deal with a new Deke with LASIK. That's all.
Fair enough, man. Let's go.
Brady Howe, 937, Springfield, Ohio.
Okay, let's get it. I like it.
Codu, 419, Northwest Ohio.
Okay.
Doesn't want to get that specific.
Yeah, I like that, man. Let me take a couple of these too, man. I got Brady Howe, the 937, Springfield, Ohio. And my man Steve Brooks tuning in from the crib, Cavalier Manor. Shout out to P-Town in the building. That's 757 for y'all that do not know. Chad Schrader, Pittsburgh, PA. And my man Shane Eitz, St. Louis, Missouri. Let's get it. Okay. Got a couple you want to tap into, man?
Yeah. I want to rattle off a few more here. Leah Warren, 254, Killeen, Texas.
Shout out Leah. You know, she one of them staples.
David Strout. He's not saying where he's from, but he just says Bush in the third for Roquan. AJ Martinez, 505, Santa Fe, New Mexico. And then we'll finish off with these two. Bacon Cowboy, 727, Clearwater, Florida. For the last time till Christmas. Maybe he's going back. He's what do they call him down there? Snowbirds.
Yeah.
So what? I don't know what he's doing. He's going back down to Florida.
I don't know.
In December maybe. Coming up here for the fall.
That sounds about right.
Going somewhere for the fall.
Hey Deke, I'm confused. What's the difference between like a snowbird and a snow bunny? I was just asking. All right, I'm messing. Go ahead.
Rod Dallas, 330, Youngstown, Ohio. Share line, baby.
Okay. You know he one of them staples too, man. Got to show him love.
Had to close it out with him.
You know that. Let's go. Also, man, quick update. We do have new merch available on the Teesprings website, man. New shirts up there, new colors as well, man. Definitely want to check that out. Continuing with our rollout, y'all know anytime it gets to this time of year, new merch starts to pop up, new logos, new concepts, because we like to keep y'all, feeling good about yourselves, repping the brand and stuff like that, man. So definitely, if y'all haven't done so just yet, man, check that out, man. New t-shirts, new hoodies, crew shirts as well, or crew sweatshirts up there as well. Ton of color options though, man. So have a little bit of fun with that. So yeah, man. Let's hit a couple of these supers real quick, and then after that, we'll hop into this first thing because we do have a ton that we got to get on. You know what I mean? We got a ton. So we're going to hit a couple of these, then we'll take a break with the supers, and then we'll come back to them as the show continues to progress.
Works for me. Come on here. Tough hearing about Carl Joseph and Anthony Miller. Very sad news. Was hoping they'd both make the team, but everything happens for a reason. # prayers.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. When you talk about Anthony Miller, we saw him. He actually got hurt the day that we were down there for that practice. What was that Saturday or No, it was Thursday, I think it was, when we were down there, the whole fam and stuff like that. And I remember when he went down, you can see him on the cart holding his arm, obviously pissed off. So he knew it was some type of significance. None of us really knew what was going on. But now to get this information that it is the season-ending variety, that definitely sucks. And then for Carl Joseph, I mean, you think about him, this has been the story of his career, essentially. A ton of talent, the pedigree, but just for some reason has the worst luck as it comes to injuries and the timing of that. And for him, man, this is just, another one of those bumps in the road for him, man. But hopefully he'll be able to recover from this, man. And, somewhere down the line, if it's next year here in Pittsburgh or somewhere else, who knows, man, maybe he'll be able to get back on track and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just unfortunate, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, you talk about all that training, man. This is the worst time, man. And obviously, speaking from experience, because in Arizona, I had a similar situation going on injured reserve at the end of a training camp time frame before a regular season. And yeah, it could definitely be, difficult on you if you're not prepared for that, because everything that you're training for, everything that you're prepping for, and you're right at the beginning of it is about to happen for the long haul of the season. And then it's like, oh, yeah, change your plans. None of that's happening right now. So, yeah, it's definitely a difficult thing, man. So, hopefully those two dudes, man, will be all right.
Yeah, I think for the Steelers, we'll be fine because we didn't even know if either of them were going to make the roster. Yeah. It's just the reality of it. But yeah. I would have liked to at least see them get the chance to fully compete, right?
Yeah, both of them were definitely in contention. You talk about the safety position outside of Damani KZ and a Trey Norwood. I thought that Carl Joseph was right there in that mix as a guy that could potentially, have a role out here. And we talked about that.
Yeah, you can spell Arthur Millette.
Absolutely, man, the versatility and stuff. And similar things about Anthony Miller. We talked about his rapport with Mitch Trubisky. We talked about how he was putting together a nice camp as well, and the veteran, leadership that he brought to the table, and also how he had that similar short area quickness that Calvin Austin possessed as well. But, it's just one of those things, man. Sometimes you can't control how the breaks happen. You just got to roll with it, and in the words of Bruce Lee, be like water. So we shall see, man.
AJ Martinez, prayers to all. 8 is the new 7. He needs the weights.
No, what do you mean the weights? Like
not sure.
The body weight weights like
he's
weights like stronger?
Right. He's not like Kevin Durant where he needs to put on weight coming into the league.
I kind of like Kenny at this weight right now, man. He looks good. Looks athletic. Looks fast.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what he's referring to.
Yeah, but I guess, man, I will hop in a little bit and talk about Kenny because, he has some new things happening for him right now. This week he's been getting more reps with the twos. Instead of it being Mason getting those reps, it's been flipped. And it's been more of Kenny. Also, for the first time since Kenny has been a part of the Pittsburgh Steelers, he also got reps with the first team offense.
Is that the 2-minute drill?
2-minute drill, absolutely, man. And there's a lot of significance with that. I know people that say, well, it's just practice. But when you're talking about the 2-minute drill, that is one of the most important parts of a game. When you talk about situational football, it's the end of a half. It's the end of a quarter. Or, the end of a fourth quarter, typically, when you're running these 2-minute drills. And the stakes are high. You have to either score a touchdown, kick a field goal. Defensively, you're trying to get a turnover. You're trying to get a stop. So you put your best players out there. You want your best guys getting those reps. And when you talk about the other players that were out there with them, offensively and defensively, yeah, you see the type of names that are there. You see the Minkah Fitzpatricks. You see, when we put out our A unit on defense, it's like, all right, you're not just throwing him out there for no reason. You don't just put him out there to get a free look. It's like you're trying to evaluate. You're trying to see, can he handle this? Because we know in the 2-minute drill, it's not just about his talent. It's also about his smarts, because now you're calling it at the line of scrimmage. You don't have that luxury of always being able to turn to the sideline and say, hey, coach, man, what we running? It's not, that type of dynamic. So for Kenny to see if he could handle that, I like this type of exposure. But I also like the fact that Coach Tomlin is doing this in a manner that, as a former NFL player, a veteran, it's in a way that you would respect Kenny. Because when he was first drafted, you think about media members, you think about fans, all of them saying day one, put him out there as a starting quarterback. Give him every QB1 rep, whether he deserved it or not, good or bad, put him out there.
Sounded like me.
It's a possibility that I might have been referring to you. Yes, it's a possibility there. But the problem is this, man. If you do that, and this guy is not clear-cut that guy day one, you potentially lose your team. You lose your veterans, because we look at young players and say, what have you done? You haven't proven anything. You're given something right now. And we look at that as privilege. And a lot of us as athletes don't really respect that. And when you talk about the handling of Kenny Pickett, it's like, man, the reason why you can respect it and the guys are all behind it, and even me talking about it right now, it's a different type of atmosphere, because we've seen him along this progression. We've seen him continuing to get better. The more they put on his plate, he shows, okay, he's able to handle that. Now you graduate to the next stage. But all through that, amongst your team, amongst your veterans, you're gaining respect. You're showing that, okay, we can trust you with a little bit. If I could trust you with a little, then I can trust you with a lot. But I'm not going to just go out here and give you the keys to the car, and I haven't even seen if you could pass the permit test, if you even know what a stop sign is, if you know how to yield, if you know what a red light is, and all these other things. But this is that process for Kenny where we're getting a chance to see him. Okay, first it was OTAs. What does it look like just being out there with NFL players? Then it was minicamp. All right, now it really is everybody here, and we know this is supposed to be mock season. Training camp, first 2 weeks. Remember, we said that first week it wasn't pretty special. Then it was like, okay, he's starting to pick it up. So far, so good. Every time he has any type of adversity, anytime he's given some type of test, he's been passing it. You talk about that performance Saturday. It's nothing that Mason or Mitch did wrong. But when you talk about Kenny's trajectory along with all of the momentum that he has, being the 20th overall selection and things like that, it's like, yeah, you knew if he could do that, it's going to open up more doors for him. And now this week, it'll be interesting to see, not just throughout the practices, but come game time on Saturday, how does he perform? When he gets to go out there with the earlier unit, when the competition is a little bit greater, how does he handle that scenario? Does he still look as comfortable? Is he still able to be that type of playmaker? And then from there, if he is, well, hey, don't be surprised if that third game, he's getting that QB1 opportunity. Because that's the trajectory. But it's because
that one's at home too.
But and also it's because of his timeline, though. It's because of what he's been able to accomplish thus far, but he's earning it. As long as he's earning it like that, man, everybody will be able to support that. The guys will be able to rally around it. The coach staff can rally around it, and you feel good even if he has bad games, even if he has bad moments, because you've seen him go through that fire. If you just give it to him, you don't get that luxury of, oh, he's just having a bad game, benefit of the doubt. Because you're like, nah, we didn't. Why should we believe that he is capable of it? We haven't seen that. You just gave this to him. So in that capacity, man, I do love what the Steelers are doing right now, in particular Mike Tomlin, in his handling of Kenny and ultimately giving him the opportunities. And it did. He did play well in the 2-minute drill. He didn't score. He had a nice little shot to George Pickens, 27-yarder, but did not get a chance to actually score the touchdown. Him and Mason, both of their drives stalled right in the red zone and stuff like that. But for me, man, like I said, it was just good for Kenny to get that opportunity. And let's see where he continues to go with this day, man.
Claypool and Deontay have been out there too.
Yes, man. We've had, in terms of the offense, everybody has been back out there except Derek Watt. Benny Snell was back out there. Kevin Dotson's back. Let's see.
Najee.
Yeah, and obviously, yeah, Najee. But Najee came back. He was back practicing prior to the preseason game, the opener. They just weren't going to put him out there. But, yeah, now he's back out there as well, man. I'm trying to think defensively. Yeah, the dudes are back out there also. Minka's been back out there. Minka, him and George Pickens were having some nice battles yesterday and day before yesterday as well, man. So we definitely like that part, man, because once again with George, he's getting a chance to see him with better competition. What does it look like? The consistency element. Also, your boy Keller making some nice plays out there against George. So shout out to those guys, man, stepping it up as well,
iron sharpens
man.
iron.
Absolutely, man.
That's what I was trying to say with them too.
Yeah.
With Pickett though, you actually think there's a legit chance QB1 week 3, Now, even this preseason game coming up against Jacksonville, likelihood of him being at least QB2.
To me, I think he gets in QB2 reps. I don't know if they do it as blatant as soon as Mitch comes out, they put Kenny out there, or if it's a Mason, you get that first series, Kenny, you're going.
Back
you know
and
what I mean?
forth.
Yeah, because we've seen other teams handle it like that. I believe Carolina is doing it like that between Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. It's a couple of other places where I've seen them rotating them. Seattle, they were the other ones who were doing that with Geno and Drew. At times, they try to do that with them as well. So with that, for Kenny, I just think for him, man, the chances of him being a starter in that first 2 to 3 weeks, I think greatly increases if he puts together another performance like he did Saturday. Because for him, the momentum, you feel it, and the gradual improvement you feel. He also has just that, we call it the it factor. It's still not proven just yet, but the buzz around him, that's the other part. And now we know a lot of that is because of him being here, him playing at Pitt, him coming right to the Steelers. A lot of that was going to already just carry over. But the more he shows in stadium that he's capable of replicating and duplicating the stuff that we saw in Pitt, the stuff that we've seen at times in practice, well, it's going to be harder for that coaching staff to say, well, why not give him the chance? Because remember, at the beginning of when we drafted Kenny, we said if it's close between him and Mitch, you're going to go with the younger guy. If it's close between Kenny and Mitch, or Kenny and Mason, you go with the younger guy. So this is one of those scenarios where if it becomes close like that, because prior to Saturday, it wasn't close. And even now, I'm not saying that it's officially close, but Kenny has definitely closed the gap on Mason. And that's why if you're Mason, you're like, you have to do something extraordinary Saturday and next Saturday. Not that you played bad, but we already said you had to go above and beyond. Whereas when you're talking about Mitch is still in the driver's seat, but he's going to get a bigger opportunity this upcoming game. Them 2 series that he had were cool, but it was only 2 series. Kenny played 5. We see how we felt about that. So for Mitch, he's going to have to show now that he's going to get an extended chance to prove it. Is he worth that? And that's the part that's going to be interesting to me, man.
Do you want to get into any more of the quarterback stuff, or do you want to save that for later?
Yeah, let's get into the quarterback stuff. We can do it a little bit more now. Yeah.
Because we got your boy.
Uh-oh.
Breaking some news.
What's he talking about over there?
He's saying there was buzz around Mason Rudolph and the trade rumors to Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
And today, Chris Oladokun officially got his first reps.
Mm-hmm.
Are you seeing any lines being drawn here, or just connections being drawn between the two things happening?
If we go off of social media, you can say yes, but Omar Khan publicly just spoke and said that he doesn't anticipate moving Mason. He said that that's not something that they're looking into right now. He said if it happened, he would be surprised by it. But he said he feels that all 3 of his quarterbacks can help him win this season. So that's the part for me, whereas when I heard that from Omar, I'm like, well, dang, because
he could just be saying that.
Well, and that's fine.
As a
I would agree
cover.
with that. But it's one of the things, like, this would be his first time in this situation. So kind of like we talked about Kevin Colbert, right? We said, man, we didn't have a lot of instances where Kevin might say publicly this guy's not getting traded and then trades him. We've seen other organizations where they do that, though. With Omar Khan, we just don't know because I haven't seen him in this scenario just yet. So that's what he said publicly. I don't know how much we want to put into that. But that's for me, where I'm hanging my hat right now, just in the sense of until I get more information from him to see if he's one of those guys like you talk about, they say one thing, but they're working something over here, then I can understand it. Or if he's legitimately like, no, man, we're not trying to move this dude. We still think he helps us out. Kind of like what we talked about on Monday anyways. If one of these dudes happen to go down, you still feel confident if Mason was on your roster at the time. So you don't have to deal with what we kind of ran into in 2019 or whatever when Ben went down. Mm-hmm. So if that is the case, then Omar would be very, truthful in this sense. But like I said, for me, I just personally don't know that just yet.
Yeah, I don't think there's the urgency that he'll be traded before preseason ends because there is a game coming up, and we could see Mason go 15 of 15, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mitch could struggle, Kenny could struggle, and that could completely flip the quarterback dynamic. Man. When we come in on Monday, we're talking about, like, does Mason have legitimate chance for the quarterback one spot now? So I think he's going to wait to see how the rest of preseason plays out. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's just dipping his toe in the
Yeah.
water, seeing what's out there a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't blame him, whether he's truthful or not, just saying like, hey, no, we're not
Yeah.
looking into it
Because
right
if you think about it, of the 4 quarterbacks,
now. I don't think it'd be smart to say, hey, we're shopping him.
Well, think about this. Of the 4 quarterbacks we currently have, 2 of them are rookies. Brand new rookies. So
There could be injuries in preseason. Knock
it's
on
like,
wood.
man,
I mean,
you're taking a lot of chances if you just move Mason right now. And that's the part that I think Omar understands. That's the part I think that this team understands as well. It's like, man, you don't just move him just for the sake of moving him. You need to see what you truly have in Kenny. And I think that's what this week is. Coach Tommy, he likes to call this moving week. We already talked, we didn't talk about it, but y'all saw some of the roster moves that have already been made in terms of cuts and stuff like that. When moving week happens, different guys are going to get new opportunities. For Mason, you're running with the threes right now. It's not a slap in the face. You look at it like, yo, this opportunity. I better light it up.
yeah.
I better go crazy out here. I better prove that, hey, man, what Kenny did last week, I could do that too if I'm running with the threes. And that's the energy you take with it if you're Mason. You know, and that's the part for me, man, where I'm like, once again, we get to see what that's going to look like and stuff. But, yeah, man, it's going to be a fun time, man.
It might just be time to let him go.
Yeah, well, we'll find out, man.
As much as it's
Yeah.
smart to keep him on the roster, it might just be time, dude.
Yeah.
Because the only thing I think, I was
Mhm.
thinking about this today, that would make me hesitant to like really be gun-ho and trading Mason is what we talked about in terms of just quarterbacks getting injured. But that's really any team. Like how many teams out there have like 3 quarterbacks that can get them out of stadiums? You know what I mean?
Well, I'm just laughing because this is sounding like with the fake fans you called last year, what they talked about Ben, that's how they said it, and that's how they sounded.
What do you mean?
In terms of like, yo, man, we don't need to live in the fear of, oh, man, we're replacing a Hall of Fame quarterback. Be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you wish for. When you leave, it's gone, it's gone. It's like, well, nah, Kenny walked through the door. It ain't that bad right now. That's how some people look at it too. So in this situation, it's like, yeah, maybe they the same way, man. Get rid of Mason. We ain't got to think about it like that. Just roll with it, man. What you living in fear for?
No, that's what I
Yeah.
was exactly saying.
Yeah.
Like I think the only thing is like, hey man, what if we trade him and he comes back to
Yeah.
haunt us? He becomes the next Brady
Yeah.
over on another team, on the Texans or the Lions or
Because
something
that's
like
what
that.
people were saying, like with
But
Ben,
you-
like, yo,
you-
what
you
happens when
can't-
Ben leaves and like the offense is gonna look terrible? It's like, nah, Kenny, like, all right, man, Kenny Affleck, what
I
that boot,
mean-
man.
I
That's the
mean,
upgrade, bro.
You're talking to the wrong guy though. I
I-
think the offense would be just fine with Ben. It'd be just fine,
Are you-
if not better.
I'm just saying, I just felt like we had a moment right there. Like I was with you. You know what I mean? Like
No,
we're on the
we-
same-
I wasn't with you there.
No, we're 100%
I
on the
was
same
not.
page. I
Because
agree
Canada's
with you.
still involved too.
Come on, man. That's why it's like perfect sense. Like the 8 over the 7,
Nah,
the +1. I told you, I'm with you. I'm on your team here.
No, but I'm with you. The thought of Mason going somewhere else and coming back to haunt us in a way, and just tearing it up for another team, that would feel bad. But at the same time, you gotta let people go at times.
No, you
You
definitely
can't
do,
worry
man.
about what they're gonna do or not do in a different scenario. It's like relationships.
Yeah,
You gotta live and let live.
and you got a lot of experience
So-
with that, man. Absolutely.
We've already had the writing on the wall with
Mhm.
us picking Pickett and us signing Trubisky.
Yeah.
We're kind of over the Mason Rudolph experience. But I don't think it really benefits us to move him anytime
Yeah.
soon here with the preseason still in play. And I still think he's in the quarterback competition.
Yeah. Well, and
But I think the writing's on the wall. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think they're giving every opportunity to Mitch or
Mhm.
to Pickett if Pickett keeps playing like he has
Absolutely.
been.
So I'm with it on that, man. I like it. Was that the only one we had, or
What, super chats?
yeah? Let's hop back over there. Yep.
In terms of updates,
Yeah.
the only other one's the Chris Oladokin.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
kind of talked about that in
Mhm.
connection with maybe Mason Rudolph getting traded.
But
It looked like
also
he just had 4 reps, one of
Yeah.
4. It wasn't really too
But
eventful.
also you have to think too, man. For Chris, he's probably going to get an opportunity not this week, but next week. So for him, this is kind of like the start of his official game prep. So
Like
to
if
speak.
Mitch lights it up,
Mitch probably won't be out there a lot next week.
Right.
Maybe a series tops, But if that is the case, then Chris is going to get a little bit more opportunity. And because obviously Mason, depending on how he looks and how Kenny looks, if Kenny lights it up this second preseason game, man, and it's clear that he surpassed Mason, look for Mason to get the whole second half of that third game. You know what I mean? As the showcase. That's what they call it for certain players. Like,
sure.
all right, man, we're not going to keep you here, but we'll let you showcase. We'll let you go out there and just, go crazy. And that could be his situation. And if that's the case, then Chris probably won't get as many reps. But if it's a little bit different, then Chris should at least get a quarter in that last game, man. I don't think he gets more than that just because you still want to get Kenny reps. He can't have enough reps right now. Mason, if you're going to still roll with him in some capacity, you're going to want him to have reps. But for Chris, I think he'll probably get a quarter in that third game.
Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah, man.
Good for him. I feel like that could be a continuous storyline here. Will Olado can get one snap in any of these preseason games.
I mean, it's, hopefully he makes the most of whatever reps he gets, man. Reps aren't promised, bro. And that's the part where we say, like, if you just start giving unproven players reps for no reason, guys start to look at that player differently. Guys start to look at the coaching staff differently, and you eventually will lose that team. Yeah.
All right, we got AJ Martinez. It says, prayers to all. 8 is the new set. No, I already said that one. We got another prayer comment, though, from Official Momentum. Praying for everyone here. Moats and Deke. Thank you.
Prayers up. Let's go.
Also says that pivot episode was fire.
Which one you got, man?
I think they did one with Najee.
Oh, word. Okay. Sweet.
I saw it floating around out there. He was talking about Nick Saban and Tomlin.
No, that's dope. Let's go, man.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it, but
Let's
Ryan
go.
Clark and the crew's out in training camp.
Yeah, I saw them out in practice. They came out the day after we did. Yeah, man. So that was definitely dope, man. Shout out to RC, man.
When they gonna ask us to go on?
Hey, man, call him up. You know what I'm saying, man? Shoot. RC, yo, pull up, bro. You know what it is. Actually, we'd have to pull up on them. They're a little big time.
Fish Momentum says, happy hump day. Glad y'all liked the Rooney story. I did.
No doubt, man. It was a good story. Heck yeah.
Follows up and says, prayers to the Boyce family.
Oh, that was the gentleman we were talking about.
QV, I guess he's saying Quaker Valley. Rest in peace, Mr. Boyce.
Yep.
Cam Letson, what's good, boys? Long time no see. Hope you guys are having a great day.
What up,
Hashtag
Cam?
NFL Youngboy. Hashtag lag game. Yeah, he's talking about yesterday. I forgot to plug in my Ethernet.
Oh.
And I was running on Wi-Fi. And sometimes it's good, but
it's hard,
sometimes you can't trust the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I was lagging out pretty bad.
Yeah.
Still came out with the win.
Of course. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah, it was like the Jordan flu game for me. It was the lag game.
Would not expect anything less from you.
Fish Momentum, prayers to all players in recovery.
Yeah, hey, man. I'm trying to think, man. We got a couple walking wounded over there, man, but those dudes should be getting back, man. The guy that needs to hurry up, Derek Watt.
Right.
Dude.
Wait, yeah, what are you saying? What are you hearing?
Well, this is the situation. I mean,
is it Connor Heyward or something else?
No, what Connor Heyward has been able to do thus far, to me, I think it's put Derek Watt on that hot seat. Man, when you talk about both of these dudes, very similar in terms of what you would want offensively, right? H-back, full-back, run some routes, movement guy, right? You can line him up front, can line him to the play side, can line him up on the backside and have him be the second guy, the pull-around guy, some of these blocking elements. Well, based on what we saw in that game Saturday, Connor has shown that he could do that, and in some cases do it at a higher level or just a more athletic level. Now, I don't want to completely say that he could do it at a better level because the competition does matter. Derek has done these things in stadium, but it wasn't as robust as what we saw from Connor Heyward in terms of some of the pass catching in stadium. But I also think of the context of this, right? If I'm just simply telling you, Deke, I got player A and I got player B, all right? Player A, rookie, cheap, athletic, has been putting together a really good training camp, consistently showing up and getting better each and every day. First preseason game, he goes out there and makes plays offensively and makes tackles on special teams. Oh, and he also happens to have a brother that's an all-pro, multiple-time team captain, one of the faces of this organization, right? So all those things are in player's A bucket. Now, player B costs a couple millions more, has not been available to you for the majority of training camp. Also hasn't been as versatile in stadium since he's been in Pittsburgh as this rookie has been thus far. Top of that, he has a brother that plays in the league, reigning defensive player of the year. All right. But also limited a little bit when you're talking about just overall athletic ability in contrast to player A. If I'm telling you this without any names, you're going to say, yo, give me player A. It's a no-brainer. This is the guy. This is more productivity. This is youth. This is cost efficient. This is still keeping brother happy. This is everything that you need right here. Well, when I think of Connor Heyward and Derek Watt, that is the scenario right now. And I'm just trying to figure out for Derek, the more he misses time and the more Connor's able to go out there and put together good practice after good practice, the performance he had on Saturday, if he can replicate that in any capacity on this upcoming Saturday, it's like, man, how different is that conversation than the Kenny Pickett to Mason Rudolph conversation? because they're close. To me, I personally think that Connor is a little bit ahead of him based on what he was able to do in stadium, because it is this year we're talking about. We're not talking about career-wise, because that doesn't matter in 2022. 2022 was its own season in its own, it stands on its own in that capacity. So for me, I'm just trying to figure out in this sense, what would be the reasoning behind keeping him over a guy like this?
My main question was, how much are we losing at fullback?
Mm-hmm.
Because Connor Heyward, not as much as the fullback type of player, and not as physical, not as built as Derek Watt.
Yeah.
We don't use Derek Watt anyway.
I would agree.
So
yeah,
we're missing out on Derek Watt potentially playing a snap or two if you want to take his average throughout the whole season.
So that's.
But do you think we could put Connor Heyward in there and not lose much? Maybe it's a little bit of a downgrade, but I think it might be an uptick with his versatility.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's the part for me where I'm like, dude, and one is getting paid multiple millions, one is going to be paid, nice $100,000s, So it's like when you're comparing the difference of those two in that context, if one's brother wasn't TJ Watt, we're not having a real conversation about this. But in this instance, the reason why I also brought up Connor's brother being Cam is because that ace in the hole that Derek usually has when we're talking position battles of, well, hey, man, we would joke about it, but it's like, no, man, in all seriousness, we do know you got a relationship. Like, your brother is important here. Well, that goes out the window in this instance because Connor's brother is just as important. And that's, TJ gets the nod. I know.
I think the problem
is, that's the part for me where I'm just like,
I think the problem is their positions in their NFL career right now, because Derek Watt is the veteran. This is the last year on his deal. Whereas Connor Heyward, we could stash. He's going to be here more long term.
But when we say
I could see them keeping both.
But this is the thing, though. When you say you can stash, you're not stashing Connor on practice. You're stashing him on the active roster, which means which running back are you dropping? Which wide receiver are you dropping? Which corner are you dropping? Which inside linebacker?
He'll actually probably get picked up.
Absolutely. Which lineman are you dropping? And that's the part where I'm asking myself, if I get to choose between keeping a Jalen Warren as that third RB, potentially, or that fourth guy versus a Derek Watt, how do I justify that? If I'm thinking, at the wide receiver position, man, we talked about some of the names, right?
Boykin and Sims,
man.
It would have been Miller if he wasn't getting hurt.
So it's like, let one of them leave to keep Derek. That's the part where I'm just like, if you're Derek, and I'm sure Derek feels this urgency because he's not a rookie. He understands the business of the NFL. But this is one of those things where I'm sure he's feeling like, I need to hurry up and get back out there.
I would love it, though, if he just owned it.
Oh, Lord.
Took his time. Did one of these Devin Bush type interviews. Hey, how urgent is it for you to get back out on the field? I'm TJ's brother. I'm good.
I'm going to be in the league anyways. It don't matter.
Yeah.
So we just.
I'm just gonna hop over to the Cardinals.
So we just.
JJ's over there.
So we just transition into that. That's
is that what we're doing?
I'm just asking. You know what I mean? Like, we here right now with it.
Sure.
All right.
But I'd really appreciate that if Derek did that somehow.
That would be hilarious. But yeah, that's my only thing though in terms of Connor and Derek right there, man. And like I said, I've been thinking about that earlier today. I was talking about it on the radio I was doing earlier and stuff like that. But yeah, dude. You can't keep missing time. Benny Snell returning today, I thought was a great thing for Benny, because Jalen Warren and Anthony McFarland, they were closing that gap.
Mm-hmm.
So Benny coming back out there was a huge, step in the right direction for him. But that's what instantly drew me to thinking about Derek. I'm like, dude, you can't keep missing time. Montravius Adams, another. You can't keep missing time. Y'all are not to that level within this organization where you can sit out weeks at a time of training camp. And I understand some injuries are significant like that and you can't push through it. And if that's the case, I mean, it just sucks. But the reality of it is you're still missing that time. So hopefully, it works out for them dudes, man.
All right. The Devin Bush news?
Yes. All right.
All right. So I'll give some context.
Yeah.
Everyone knows about it at this point, but
I don't know about it. Educate me, please.
He was asked,
please, yeah,
if he feels like this is his last chance, and then he asked, like, for what, and he gets the response of like the NFL, like for your NFL career, and then he says like, what, for the Steelers, and then the reporter says, yeah, and then he says, I mean, it's a business. I'll still be in the NFL, so we'll see. Dude needs a PR agent.
All right.
Because I do think he was just being real. I don't know if he's right, though.
I'm glad you said it, Deke. I didn't want to. All right. Shout out to Deke, bro.
He's just being real.
Shout out to Deke.
It's a business.
Yeah.
He probably could have coded it a little bit better. Like, hey, yeah, it's a business. We'll see what happens at the end of the year. I'm really working hard this year, though. Really enjoy the Steelers situation. Hopefully everything works itself out. That's all you got to say.
Yeah.
Right? That's all you got to say.
So, were you finished? I ain't cut off. I ain't want to cut you
well,
off,
in terms
man.
of him being right or not, I look at someone like Artie Burns.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jarvis Jones didn't get a second chance, right?
Nah.
There's
But the thing is, Jarvis and Artie both, to me, are the same in the sense of never lived up to it. They got opportunities to go elsewhere, but it hasn't materialized. So Jarvis, he went to the Cardinals right after he left Pittsburgh, and he got cut.
Okay.
For Artie, he went to Chicago and got hurt like the first week he was out there. So that's still a mystery. Now, this offseason, he ends up in Seattle, and he's hurt again. So, once again, it's still a mystery to see even if he's going to get another opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, so with Bush, I could see him getting that treatment of he's going to get signed somewhere, being a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Is he going to make the roster? Is he going to be in the NFL for longer than just next year?
Yeah.
Because you're not looking for just being on a roster next year. You want a longer-term career.
Well, and there's plenty of first-round draft picks that don't have successful NFL careers. There's plenty of NFL first-round draft picks that don't have long careers. The NFL average first-round draft picks all the way to undrafted free
Yeah, what was the dude from the Browns who side? Gilbert.
2.5 years.
Cornerback. I don't even know if he
Justin
made it 2 or
Gilbert.
3 years.
Absolutely. So, once again, there is no guarantee. I had Aaron Maben with me in Buffalo. We cut him after 3. He was out the league by 5. So there's no guarantee, regardless of you being a first-round draft pick, that you get this, red shirt year, gray shirt year, special year, and all this other things. That's not how it works. But for me, man, when I first heard his comments, stuff like that, I get him in a sense, but I think that he's one of those guys right now where the young guy mentality is hitting him. And this is what I mean by it, right? So as a younger guy, when you first come in this league, you hear about the way it's supposed to be. You hear about the veterans. You hear about the media. You hear about, you have to say certain things. You got to respond certain ways. And honestly, we all go through it, myself included, where you want to just be you. I want to say what I want to say. Daggone, if I'm pissed, let me be pissed. If I'm not pissed off about this, let me not be pissed off about this. But you feel like you want to say it and do it the way you want to do it. And as a young player at times, that can work for you, but it can also get you into some trouble. And I think in this situation right here, it's like, Devin, if you truly feel like that, that's fine. Because not everybody has the same level of motivation. Some people we talk about, they're motivated by legacy. They're motivated over money. They're motivated to be a starter. They're motivated to just make it to the league. Everybody has different motivations. Not everybody wants to be the best, the champion, the highest paid. Like, that's not everybody's goal. And we have to understand that. But when you talk about the difference between younger players and veteran players, as a veteran, you understand, even if I might feel that, even if I might believe that, however truthful it is or not, you understand that, hey, if I say this publicly, right or wrong, it's going to have negative backlash. Because at the end of the day, when we talk about Steeler Nation, let's talk about our fans here, right? These are the fans that it could be, the middle of the off season on a random Wednesday at 4:00, and you're going to see somebody in black and gold. When the Steelers lose on Sunday, people are sick behind it. When the Steelers win, we could feel the energy around here. We talk about this fan base, right? And why we say Steeler Nation, because everywhere you travel, you're running into passionate, rabid Steeler fans. So if these people feel this way and they're this passionate and they're this invested in it, and it's rare because this is what makes Steeler Nation Steeler Nation. Not every fan base is like this. But if you know this is the fan base, if you know when you hear alumni, you've heard me speak. I'm sure when Mike Logan gets up here and talk, various other alumni, Jason Gilden in his interview, they talk about, man, it is such an honor and a privilege. Like, man, we have to make the most of this. You got to respect this thing, right? When you put on that black and gold jersey. When you hear and you understand all of that, you know you cannot say something like that publicly, right or wrong, and expect to not get this negative type of backlash. And then when you couple that with the way that he's been playing, It's just like, bro, you're completely out of touch here. And that's the frustrating part when you're talking about a Devin Bush. It's like, yo, we've seen players struggle. We've seen players play bad. We've seen players be bust. But you can't do those things and seem just lackadaisical, or it doesn't matter to you, or it's no emotion involved, because the fan base wants you to care, because they care. Bro, think about, man, people, when babies are born here, what are they wrapped in?
Terrible towels.
When people pass away, they're not calling and say, hey, can you put my husband's picture in here? Can you grab my favorite wife's wedding ring? What are they getting buried with at times, Deke?
Terrible towel. Maybe in their jersey, too.
So if we're talking about people being born into still a nation, and when they die, they'll leave them with this thing, it's different here. You can't make those type of comments. And that's the part for Devin. As a young player, he has to understand that. And if you don't, then you're going to keep feeling like this. You're going to keep feeling ostracized, and like everybody's picking on you and constantly talking about you. But it's like, man, when you're playing like this and talking like that, what do you expect?
If you want to really look into it and try to spin it in a positive way, it's that Devin Bush is that confident in himself. He's going to have a big year. He's going to still be in the NFL, whether the Steelers value him to a certain extent or not. It didn't come off right, though. It didn't come off in the best of ways. It came off a little bit more dismissive.
Yeah, nonchalant. Just like, bro, I ain't worried about that. I'm going to be in the league next year.
But you get what I mean? You could spin it as a positive. Like, I'm going to be in the league because I'm going to show out this year.
And all of that would be all well and good if Saturday didn't happen. If we didn't see Saturday's performance, we would all be like, you know what? Sure, believe that. Go with that confidence. We support that confidence.
Sure.
But how do you have that type of confidence and that type of attitude, almost borderline arrogance, and the dismissiveness of it, while playing the way that you played on Saturday, on the heels of what you did last season as a whole? I mean, even the Devin Bush, so to speak, apologists are turning on this dude now. You know, the guys who were like, it's the ACL, it's the ACL, it's the ACL. They're like, nah, it ain't the ACL anymore. It ain't the ACL anymore. Oh, was this. Like, nah, it ain't that anymore. It ain't that anymore. Oh, it's coach. Nah, it ain't coach anymore. It ain't coach anymore. Like,
I'm holding out hope.
And then it was like, oh, it's the D-line. It's the D-line. And they're like, you realize Miles Jack was playing right next to him behind that exact same D-line that was out there on Saturday. Didn't stop him from making plays. That's the part, bro.
I'm holding out hope.
Like, I get it, bro.
I'm holding out hope.
I get it, man.
Week 1 or 2 of the regular season, if we're seeing more of the same, that's when I might be fully abandoning ship.
Yeah. But
I think the apologists, I would consider myself one of them.
Yeah.
We've held on pretty long here. I don't know how many there's left on the ship.
Yeah, it's a unique situation. Yeah.
I'm holding out hope. I'm holding out hope.
You keep holding on, man. I'm going to just keep analyzing it, but yeah.
Brian Flores, that's the X factor this year. That's the difference.
It definitely
maker.
is, man. And once again, we talked about Brian being brought in for stuff like this. Can you handle this adversity? This is his first test. Handle it. Let's go, man.
He's got all the variables in his favor now, though.
Yeah.
So if it's not with this structure around him,
yeah,
that's what I said. I think it might be time to jump ship at some point in the regular season.
Fair enough, man.
If it's not going in the right direction. All right. Maybe even thinking about a trade. I mean, we could pull off a little midseason trade. Omar Khan. Why not?
Come on, man. How are we going to trade a Devin Bush? That's all I'm trying to figure out.
He's included in the trade package.
Oh, because I'm just
but
trying
we got to give up some picks or something.
Like people be acting like, yeah, we just go trade Devin. We go get somebody good back. Like, it doesn't work. Like, because everybody's seeing the same tape. We watching.
No, we got to throw some picks in or something.
Okay, yeah. So we can address it, make it real for him. All right.
Yeah, who brought up the Roquan Smith trade way earlier in the comments? It's got to be Bush and a pick, like Bush and maybe a first rounder and third or fourth rounder too.
A first rounder probably, and you guess a first rounder because
I think it's probably got to be first rounder.
There's zero chance if I'm Chicago, I'm taking Devin Bush for a Roquan in any capacity straight up. It can't happen. I need one pick, bare minimum first round. Bare minimum first round.
And we might not have to throw in extra picks because we got to pay Roquan.
Yeah, so that'd be like the part for us where we use that as our leverage. But yeah.
Back to the super chats.
Yes,
we got about 15 minutes
15
before
minutes.
Mike Logan.
Yeah,
just hitting these super chats now?
Yeah, let's do that. Yep.
All right. AJ Martinez, 22, looked a bit perplexed on the Pivot podcast with what are you gonna do after football type questions.
I haven't seen it yet, but I will say this, man, for a lot of young players, I mean, now he's in his second year in the league. If you ask a player, man, what is his, mindset post-football, most of us don't have a clue because this is all we've ever thought of. This is all we ever dreamed of. And this is, in terms of being a successful NFL player, you do have to be all in that thing where it's like, man, I'm not thinking about tomorrow. I'm here for the day. Like, because it's such a cutthroat, it's such an intense, the competition every single day, every single year. It's unlike anything that most people are accustomed to dealing with. It's just hard to think that far ahead. I know for me, I didn't even start thinking career-wise what I want to do post-football till year 4. You know, within the first couple years,
Right.
like, yo, I just got to survive. I'm trying to beat the average. You know, then I got to get vested, you know? It's like I'm thinking about those things. Then once it was year 4, it was like, all right, I'm kind of thinking about the future, but it was more so I need a new contract. I need to get paid. I didn't really have a plan until, year 6? And that was after I signed my nice deal here. For Najee, man, he's still new, man. So I don't think for him, man, it's one of those things that's in the forefront of his mind right now, man. And rightfully so, because this is that dream opportunity for him. His life's work is finally gotten him to this stage, and he's literally walking in it. And it's a short window, man. You know, I was fortunate. I got 9. For Najee, we talk about the running back position. If he gets 9 for him as a running back, man, that will be amazing. But what's the likelihood of that? Extremely likely. I mean, it's not that likely, you know, just because the position that he plays and the physicality with it. So with that being the case, man, yeah, I could definitely understand that for him, man.
Yeah, because Bell didn't even get 9. If you were to ask, will Bell get 9 years? Like
absolutely,
whenever
bro.
he was in his rookie deal,
It's
it
a
would have been a
no-brainer.
no-brainer.
Yeah.
Exactly. You see how things can change.
Absolutely, man.
This thing jumped on me, so I think you're next.
All right.
The next one I got is Solo 1.
Okay. All right. Oh, I'll find you. I ain't too far away. All right, we got Bacon. Yeah, Bacon Cowboy. He says, what's good, boys? What's the word? He says, got all my Steelers gear packed up and ready to move in tomorrow. I like that right there, man. So let's go, man. Got to have that room decorated the right way. You know that. Official momentum. He says, Moats, hit that inbox. Y'all check them songs. Deke, man, you got to check them songs, bro. We've been talking about it. I already did my check-in, so it's on you now, man. Absolutely. Oh, and we do have to stop the show. We did get a nice contribution from Mr. Knight Rider 16. If you would like to take over for that one right there, my friend.
Knight Rider 16 says, I'm excited for this season and the new players that we have. Shout out to you guys for providing content. No problem.
No, salute you as well, man, for the contribution. We definitely appreciate that, man. And yeah, man, we're going to keep the content rolling, man. Plenty of it. Plenty, man. Speaking of, man, in about 10 minutes, we're going to have more content where we got Mike Logan joining us for today's show, man. Definitely excited about that, man.
We're going to have chat throw out some questions, too?
We'll see. They could throw something out there.
Yeah, throw some. We
If
might use it.
We get to it.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
No guarantees.
Never any guarantees, right? All right. Official momentum. He also says, Mason going to Detroit or the Jets with the question mark. Well, we know in New York right now, oh my goodness,
Today, right?
Zach Wilson just had the surgery.
Was it yesterday or today?
It was yesterday. He had the surgery. Still have Joe Flacco there. And if I remember correctly, Joe was even talking before Zach got hurt. He said, I still think I could be a starter in this league. So that would be interesting, though, man. And I forgot who else they have on their roster in that quarterback room over there in New York.
I have no clue.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the headlines, though. They're still saying out 2 to 4 weeks. This was 6 hours ago.
Yeah. Because it's the optimistic.
Surgery deemed a success.
Yeah, you won't know the reality of that 2 to 4 weeks until you're about that 2 week mark of it.
Okay.
Because they'll be saying, okay, what's the swelling like? What's the pain tolerance like? What is your on-field activity like? And then from there, they continue to bump it up. And while you're at that 4th week, now they're talking about start and stop and changing direction, pain tolerance. Are you safe enough from yourself to go out there? Also, are you athletic enough that you can still be you while you're out there? So, yeah, that's why it's like that whole window like that.
Yeah, I hope they don't rush them. I mean, they already dodged the bullet with not being an ACL. What's waiting like 2 more weeks? The Jets, they do have a fun little roster right now, but, I mean, the chances of them actually being a legitimate playoff contender are still slim. So don't risk this dude's whole career over something stupid like that, like a week or two. Just wait it out, man. You drafted him number 2 overall.
Absolutely. Man, we keep getting these daggone spam bots over here, bro. At least they're not the freaky ones. They might be from me on this one because this is like NFL HDR stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean, at least it ain't what y'all be, your group. You know what your group be pushing over here. Yeah, we don't need none of that. All right, we got Shoot the Rock joining the upper room. What up, Shoot the Rock, and welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, baby. Let's go. Definitely appreciate your support. Farron Bradford pulling up on us. He says, Deke, tell Devin, take the gum out as his PR. That's his,
he was chewing gum.
Yeah, public relationship guy. Also, his confidence, gone at this point. His demeanor in interviews is poor. And you add that and his play, there's too much in question. Good play overshadows a lot. How would you feel about that statement, Deke?
I disagree with him on the confidence thing.
Okay.
I feel like you got to be confident to just be answering questions like that.
Either confident or out of touch, one or the other. Yep.
Sure. To see that not have his confidence fully on the field, I think that's a different question. Like I still think he thinks of himself highly, that no matter what, he can get back to what he was. Like I said, I think you have to have some sort of bravado. I don't know. How do I want to say that? Gravitas.
Yeah. Cojones.
Sure, whatever. Just to be answering
machismo.
questions the way that he has. You can even look back at his interview in the middle of last season.
Oh, yeah.
Just be saying I don't even know we're playing this week.
Yeah.
I'll find out Wednesday.
Or when he was like, yo, Buddy Johnson's getting reps. Oh, that's a good thing. You need him to get reps during the game, in season. It's like, no. But I like his confidence. You're right.
I think there is a confidence to him.
Elite tier confidence. You're absolutely right about that. That's elite tier.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But you're right in terms of being a little bit out of touch.
Yeah.
And trying to translate that over to the field and maybe mixing it, because there's no problem with confidence, but being a little humble too.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing you got to put in the work, and it could be a long process to get back.
Can, man. Definitely
you just got to work at it though.
All right. Next up, we got Official Momentum doing his, PR. Speaking of PR, he says Ambition from Pretty Ricky live September 30th at Rivers, 9 p.m. Don't forget that, Deke. All right.
Nice.
You see, he was your hashtag PR at this time. Now that I think about that, now you hit us with the hashtag PR last time. He's throwing us off here. I got to check on him. All right. We also got Cliff the Dark Knight. He says George Pickens, or GP, a.k.a. NFL Youngboy, says he listens to Chief Keef. Lord have mercy. Pre-game. Bang, bang. Which tells you a lot about him. I would agree.
Chief Keef, is he the one dropped the song Sosa?
Yeah.
Love Sosa? That's a good one.
And I know it. Absolutely, bro. Yeah. Bang, bang. Chicago right there, man. Shout out to all my Chicago folk up there, man. 64th, 63rd, O Block, all that good stuff, man. King Von, Lil Durk. Oh, I'm sorry. Every once in a while I get unprofessional. You know how it goes. I be relapsing. All right. He also says, Moats, what was your pregame routine? My pregame routine, excuse me on that. Oh, man, my pregame routine, it's pretty cool, man. It's actually pretty consistent. In terms of music, I would listen to a lot of nothing, and then I had a playlist that had 3 songs that I would play on repeat for the 2 hours I was in the locker room prior to the game. 3 gospel songs by artist by a guy named William McDonald, and it was William McDowell, excuse me on that. And the only reason I would go through that process is because for me, when it comes time for football, I look at it like it's life or death. I always have viewed it that way. Ever since I was a kid, I said, man, this is my only way out. So if I'm ever on that field, every play is like that. So at the professional level, I understood the injury risk. I understand that, hey, man, I could kill myself out here or someone else could die. So I was making sure that I was checking off all my boxes before I went out there. So just in case I don't make it home tonight,
You're right with the Lord.
I'll be going the right place. So I would play the same 3 songs for 2 hours. After that, I would make sure I would call up my wife. I wouldn't call her, I would text my wife, I love you. Forgive me for anything that I've ever done. Just think, I promise you, bro.
This is like before going on an airplane ride or
seriously,
something.
or like before you go to war. Like, that was my mentality. So that was it. I'm not talking a lot to everybody. I got my same 3 songs. I'm smiled up because I always smile before a battle. That was just my energy. But yeah, man, I'm checking every box because I'm like, yo, when I go out here, we not going to lose because of me. Like, you're never going to look at me and say, hey, yo, Moats, you let us down, bro. You ain't give us enough. Like, man, there was times where coach is like, yo, bro, don't do that. You could hurt yourself. And I'm like, coach, I will die for this out here today. So that was always my pregame routine. with chess. It's no longer like that anymore, man. I done got out of that craziness. I don't tap into that right now. I don't want to tap into that anytime soon. That's why that's why I tell you I don't like to go to training camp, man. The memories be coming back, bro. Be like, yo, I know that walk. I know what that do to me, man. I get dark. I don't need to get dark, bro. Nope. We staying positive. So yeah.
Good stuff there.
Slightly psychopathic. I know. But we got to be kind of crazy with football. It's like that, bro.
Surprised it wasn't in the air tonight. I heard a whole documentary that ESPN did that a lot of players will play in the air tonight.
Yeah, obviously Ray Lewis, man, he was one of the guys that I was a fan of, and I know that's one of his go-tos. Anytime we had a big game with the Pittsburgh Steelers, the night before in the hotel, Coach Tomlin, he's not giving us a speech. He's turning off all the lights. He's popping on Phil Collins there, and then I swear to God, bro, and he's hitting you with he calls it big game music. And sure enough, he's like, bro, you know what time it is. Any playoff game, any big regular season game, bro, he hit them lights. He got that coffee mug up at the front, hit you with this. He going to sit down. They going to cut that Jane on. And you like, okay, all right. By the time them drums hit, bro, you in that thing ready to kill somebody. And you like, coach, I got to wait a whole night. I can't sleep now. Like, I'm ready. I'm there. Like, let's go. Line it up. Like, that's the energy, you know? So with certain songs, absolutely, man. I went through that phase in probably like high school. I was on a Phil Collins there in the night. I also was a Final Countdown guy as well. Absolutely, man. Big, the Final Countdown, man. That was my jam, man. My teammates in college looked at me like I was crazy. And I'm like, nah, bro, it's the Final Countdown. I'm a Highland. I'm about to go out here and take somebody's life. Like, that was my energy, you know what I mean? And that season was crazy too, man, during that time frame. But yeah.
On that deep boy, huh?
Yeah, man. You know how it go, man. We gotta get some hardware every once in a while. So it was a good situation, man. But anywho, enough about me, man. So let's go. All right.
What else you got? Cause I'm still on solo one.
Oh, we're good. I got Bacon Cowboy. I got 2 minutes prior to us calling Mike. So I was gonna say, let's go ahead and start. Oh, Bacon Cowboy. I'll read this one real quick. He says, I'll be in Tampa for college, so about an hour away in terms of where he was going. He's not a snowbird or snow bunny. Just for clarification purposes.
Sure, we appreciate that.
What, you appreciate him not being a snow bunny or a snowbird? Which one?
Just a clarification.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
All right, well, you're ready when you are.
All right, you know what I just realized too? I have to alter a little bit of our graphics because I totally was thinking time-wise was going to work out a little bit different with this interview, though we're going to talk preseason first, but no worries either way. Right. Then after that, man, when we get with the interview, we'll pay a bill. Sound good? So let's call up the homie. Get these headphones in. I always like when we get to talk to these legends, man. You know, tired guy. Oh, hey now. Oh, I done dropped the thing. Over here fumbling the bag. Jeez, Deke, I blame you.
I'm struggling with these headphones.
I see, man. I like you didn't touch them before, man. Come on now. Jeez. All right, let's call him up. All right, here we go. Y'all want me to tell y'all his number on air? I ain't gonna do that. Hello.
What's going on, good brother?
Oh, there he is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Let's do this intro real quick, man. I got to talk about this guy right here. This second round draft pick out of West Virginia University. You know, almost heaven, that place. In the 1997 draft, man, second round draft pick, 50th overall to the Jacksonville Jaguars. But more importantly, 10-year NFL veteran, 6 of those coming right here in Pittsburgh, and Super Bowl 40 champion. Without further ado, Mike Logan, baby. Let's go, man.
Let's go, man. I appreciate you having a brother on your show, man. I see you doing great things, man. So I don't take this lightly, man. I appreciate you having me on.
From the heart, man. You know, this is something that we've been talking about doing anyways, man, having you come on and stuff like that, man. So just glad that you had a little time in your day, man, for us, man. And to hop right into this thing, we know that this time of year, when you're talking training camp, when you're talking preseason, for us players, man, it's a mentality. It's certain things that kind of come back to mind for us as retired players. So just for you, man, just talk a little bit about what goes through your mind during this time of year, man.
Well, as a player, man, it was just livelihood. It's everything that you wanted, you could bring to fruition. And you you control. This is the thing I talk about with training camp. You know, we don't have a lot of control over what happens with the roster and making the squads and everything. But at least in training camp, for me, I was like, I can control every action that happens to me, no matter what the decisions are made to get down to that final 53 at the time. I said, if I go out and I give my all for these 6 weeks and I leave nothing to be guessed, then I controlled my own fate, because I did everything in my power during the time when evaluations were up, when all the eyes were on you, when they say, you know, we have to have this young man on our football team. So for training camp, for me, it was livelihood. And I approached every practice, whether it was full pads, non-contact drills, like it was my last day. It was my livelihood. And I think that's how I was able to survive, and yes, survive for over a decade in the National Football League.
It's crazy hearing you say survive. Like that whole context right there. We were literally just talking about, you know, the average career span in the NFL and how a lot of dudes, man, don't understand how tough it is. And yeah, at times it does feel like you're just surviving.
Bro, for me, it literally was survival. And I say that because I was off injured during my career. So every year I really didn't have an off season. I was always rehabbing to come back. And every year you would hear somebody in the media say, there's no way that Logan's going to make this 53. I mean, he's a valuable guy. He plays multiple positions, but this dude is getting hurt, you know, and it was like year after year. So every year I would come out and I would have an outstanding training camp because I basically had to rehab for the whole summer.
Let's go, man.
Yeah.
Let's go, dude.
So I was wondering, you're obviously from Pittsburgh, and you have an interesting story. I think I'm definitely curious on uncovering it here. How you got number 31 whenever you came over, because Donnie's show, whenever he retired, the number was like unofficially retired, and then you were the first one to rock 31. Now there's been a couple players since then, but can you give us the backstory to all that?
Oh man, yeah, I definitely can give you the backstory for that. It was a very interesting one for me, man. First and foremost, it was an honor to don the number 31 on the field. You know, I'm a Pittsburgh guy, like you said, coming up, born and raised, idolizing the Pittsburgh Steelers, and having the opportunity to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers was everything in itself. So they could have gave me number 96. I would have wore that. I wouldn't have cared. But to be able to don 31, to me, it epitomizes everything about my career, because I not only wanted to emulate Donnie Shell on the football field, but I wanted to emulate him off the football field for the man he is and how he lives his life. And that was more important to me than the number. But the way the number came about was I was drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars. My number in college was 23. Someone had that number down there in Jacksonville. So I was like, I know how this goes. I ain't coming out of my pocket giving you none of my rookie money to get that number. I was like, yo, it's just a number. You know, I'm happy.
Said, I don't want it like that.
Yeah, I ain't had no NIL deals in college, man. I wasn't coming up off my paper. You know what I mean? So they ended up giving me the reciprocal. I got 32. And I was cool with that. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, this is the new start, new career. Let's get it. Rock number 32. You know, my free agent year came up, and I was, you know, trying to see what I was going to do. I was actually getting ready to sign back with Jacksonville, and I ended up seeing Coach Cowher at his daughter's basketball game. I was going to watch Swing Cash, and I seen Coach Cowher, and I was like, I hope this dude can see me. You know what I mean? Like, he know I'm a free agent. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of looking in his eyes like, Coach, you know, I want to come home and play for my hometown team. But luckily, they were in the market for a defensive back. And a couple days later, I think a couple weeks later, I got a call from my agent saying, hey, Pittsburgh wants to bring you home. And I'm like, are you serious? And he's like, yes. Let's go. This is a dream come true for me, since I thought I was, 6 years old, standing on a coal bin in Whitaker Projects, saying I'm going to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was coming to fruition. So at that time, I I was literally like, I told my agent, I don't care what they offer me, I'm signing. And he's like, yo, no. Let me do my work. Don't say nothing. You know what I mean? Like, let's get you some money that you deserve. I was like, listen, I don't care what they do. I'll sign for minimum for whatever. He was like, no, we're going to get this done. But I said all that to say the way the number came about was, you know, there is this guy from the Pittsburgh Steelers who had this, you know, like miracle catch where he grabs the ball off the turf and he goes down and scores. I forget. Franco Harris. You know that guy, Franco, who made the immaculate reception.
Might have heard of him. I seen him in an airport somewhere.
I think we heard of him somewhere. So I knew that was out the question. You know, coming home, I was like, there's no way, you know, they're going to give me number 32. So, of course, Roger calls me on the phone. Hey, what number would you like? And I was like, Roger, I really don't care. He was like, well, you know, you're a safety. Why don't you think about, we're going to give you 31. And right in that instant, I'm like, well, you know, didn't Mr. Donnie Shell, you know, wear that number? And is that number allowed to be worn? He's like, well, nobody's ever worn it since he's left, but I think he would be honored if you would. And I'm like, nah, bro. I'm like, that's not only, you know, big shoes to fill, but that's a lot of pressure in trying to represent, like I said, who he was on and off the field. Yeah. But I was so honored that they even offered it, that I was like, and he's like, well, why don't you call him and you know, see if he would mind. I'm like, listen, I'm not calling Mr. Shell and talking to him about, you know, wearing his number. And I kept saying, Mr. Shell, they're like, listen, Donnie's a great guy. I think he would be honored. And I didn't make the call because I was like, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? I'll take a different number, whatever y'all want to do. I think they made the call, and he was like, no doubt. Like that he was like, I would be honored if he did. And that's how that came about, man. And I tried to represent that number on the field best as I could, but I'm definitely representing what he means to me and the city of Pittsburgh and all of his teammates off the field. I'm trying to live in that light because I was lucky enough and honored enough to wear that number.
Man, that is an awesome story right there, man. Shout out to Donnie Shell too, man. He's obviously been a friend of our show as well, man. Awesome dude, extremely humble, man. And shout out to Raj. For those that don't know, Raj at that time was the head strength and condition, or not head strength and conditioning, head of the equipment management, stuff like that. So yeah, he green lights if you can wear a number or not. I know similar concept for me. He was one I had to talk to, even picking my jerseys and stuff like that, man. Raj has been around. I think he just retired like a year ago, maybe. Raj is one of them dudes, man. So definitely shout out to him. But I did want to go back and you know, as we talk about training camp and wrapping this part of this conversation up in terms of the interview or not the interview portion, but the training camp portion. Just, man, did you have one of those favorite memories, one of those favorite stories that you could think of from your time at Latrobe that you can share as well? Let's just throw that out there. You know, we have freedom, but just know, you know, there's some
memories that you know I have to keep in my vault. You know, which were great times. But I shared one about movie day going to when I was up at training camp. But there was a particular practice that I'll never forget, and you know, this is when Coach Cowher had us in them dog days of summer. We're out there. We're going at the offense. And this was like during our live period and our 7-on-7 period. And Coach was like on the defensive backs. I mean, we was woofing back and forth. I mean, Cowher, he's spitting, his chin is out. He's like in our face. And we're like, yo, step back. Like it was good. It was going down for real.
Okay.
And it was a defensive back by the name of Chad Scott, man. And him and Coach got into it about Chad, you know, doing something during one of the drills. And, I mean, literally, I thought that it was going to come to blows. Like, we had to calm Chad down, and the coaches were talking to Coach. And, like, it was like, I mean, like, this was like a brawl get ready to happen. And Chad Scott just got real quiet, bro. I mean, like, eerily quiet. And we were just like, okay, what's going to happen? I know something's going to happen. So for the next period, man, Chad Scott did not let a ball get caught on him on his side of the field. I mean, he's like diving, he's knocking down passes, he's pushing receivers down to the ground so they can't even get off the line of scrimmage. And then Coach Cowher says, "Hey, get yourselves together. Throw the ball over." He's getting on the quarterbacks and the receivers like, get back at him.
Yeah.
And Chad Scott went on to intercept, I think, the next 3 passes. And after each ball that he intercepted, he punted it up into the stands.
Let's go.
Yo,
man.
and then he stared Cowher down like with these intense eyes. I'm telling you, bro, if anybody's on that squad, I know they remember the practices.
Man.
This dude punted the ball, interception, boom, up in the stands. Interception, boom, up in the stands. Interception, boom, up in the. I mean, and coach was just like, you know what? I mean, there wasn't nothing else to be said. I mean, we was just over there looking in awe of what happened during that practice, bro. It was the most intense thing I've ever seen in practice, man.
Let's go,
Straight
man.
Straight up. I'll never forget that, bro. Never forget it.
Yo, that took me right there. He said you just start putting the balls every time you get a pick. I love that energy,
bro.
That's
booting it.
I love that
booting
energy.
It up into the stands,
love that
man.
energy. Yeah,
hilarious, man. But you know what, man? It set the tone for us as a defense. When we reflected on that during the season, when we were like, listen, we know that we can shut people down if we just go out and make the intensity always that high. And as you've seen with some of those defenses in the early 2000s, man, I mean, we were number 1 ranked defense, and as far as physicality and toughness and all those things go, that's what we embodied. I mean, you had Joey Porter fighting people before the game.
Easy, you know what he on.
It was, we just had, big personalities along with big playmakers. They backed it up with the big personalities by creating big plays.
Hey, can we go back to that Super Bowl 40 season?
Uh-oh.
What was your guys' confidence level going into that Colts divisional game? Because they were, at the time, during that era of the NFL, they were like the boogeyman. And we went on the road, was it Monday night during the regular season and got blown out? So, like, can you give me something behind the scenes heading into that game and just what your guys' mindset was?
Well, coming towards the end of that season, man, I mean, we knew that we had to win on the road to even get into the playoffs. We came in as a wild card. But there was literally, and I can't put an exact time on it or exact date on it, but there was a moment when everybody just clicked and we just drew a line in the sand. And we knew that we were going to go through the playoffs and get to the Super Bowl. And it wasn't a arrogance thing. It was just so much confidence and belief in the person next to you that they were going to execute their job to their fullest potential. We put the onus on each individual player to do that. And collectively, we were able to come together and put it all on the table and say, look, bro, we have it. We have all the tools at every position to get this done. We have people in every phase of the offense, defense, and special teams and coaching to get this done. And I think the rapport between players and coaching staff at that time is what made us so confident, because we would go to coach and say, Coach, man, this ain't working for us. This is how we want to do it. And he had enough confidence in us to say, well, listen, get it done. But if it ain't getting done, then we're going to do it the way I think it should be done. And with that rapport and being able to talk to the whole entire coaching staff about what fit us, how we were playing, what we wanted to do, I mean, and it was just a whole bunch of unselfishness. I mean, guys, I think were willing to give up a little playing time to move to different positions. We took the egos out of it. No egos, no superstars. Let's just go out as a team collectively and get this done. And we rode that wave all the way through the playoffs. It didn't even matter who we were playing. We were like, okay, the Colts are the best. Okay, we can't look at it like that. We're the best team collectively right now, and we're not going to arrogantly go out there and put it out, but we're going to confidently go out there and present this, and it's backed up by hard work, dedication, and putting the egos aside. And I think that's what led us to that Super Bowl run.
Let's go.
When did you guys know Big Ben had the it factor? Because he, as much as people want to talk about a little bit of his poor performance in Super Bowl XL, he showed out in those playoffs to get there. Like, when did you guys know? Like, going back to even, like, rookie year training camp, like, was there a point you just, like, he's got it. He's the guy.
Well, the funny thing about that is that, you know, when he came in, you know, he had that chip on his shoulder. He was just waiting for his opportunity. And I'll never forget Alan Faneca saying, man, we got this rookie coming in. I don't know if he can lead us, you know. But with that being said, we were like, we don't know if he can lead us. We don't know what kind of leader he is right now. But we know what kind of ball player he is. And we knew that he had the grits and the gut to go out there and the physical attributes to get it done. And with him wearing that chip on his shoulder, it was like, okay, let's help him prove this. You know what I mean? Like, instead of everybody saying, man, he got a chip on his shoulder because he didn't get drafted where he wanted to get drafted at. Well, everybody thinks that they're supposed to be drafted a little bit higher than what they got drafted at.
Facts.
So instead of using that against him, we're like, let's back him up on that. You know what I mean? And show the league that he was right. And lo and behold, this dude went out there and proved it. So I think that moment when Alan said that, and then we came together as veterans on that team and said, you know what? Let's just back him up. Let's have confidence in this dude that he can lead us. And if he can't lead us, let's teach him how to lead us. You know what I mean? And we got to do that by playing together. We got to do that by supporting him. And that's what he was able to do.
Let's go. Let's go. I like that right there, man. Nah, that was beautiful. That was definitely beautiful. Now, I want to, rewind this thing back a little bit also to you coming out of West Virginia. Just talk about that draft. And did you expect to go where you went? What were your plans, man? And just how did you handle that whole situation, man, being drafted and stuff?
Whew, man. Coming out of West Virginia, I had a big junior and senior year, but I had gotten hurt so many times at West Virginia. I broke the same arm 3 times. I think it was like 388 days apart, man. And I was almost saying, well, maybe football isn't destined for me. Maybe that's not the path and purpose that God has chosen for me. Maybe, I was meant to just get a taste of this and do something else. But I'll never forget Don Nealon sitting me down in his office and said, no, you have the potential to play on Sundays. And if you're going to let these little injuries get you down, then, you're not built for this. And he said, but I know you're built for it. And I was like, okay, so let me just go out and, handle my business on the field and see what happens in the draft. Because, you start reading the paper, oh, this guy's too vulnerable. He's getting hurt. He's off injured. He's injury prone. So, I think I started to slide down some draft boards. I don't know even how high I was on any of my first. And then, I ended up getting an agent. I was like, what's going to happen? He's like, listen, you never know what can happen. He said, you just go out here, you work these pro days, you go up to the combine, you show out. And the good fortune for me was that my roommate and college teammate was Canute Curtis. He was an All-American linebacker. He was heavily coveted. They were projecting him to go maybe in the top 10, top 20. He was a Butkus Award finalist. So at all of his pro days, like every team almost showed up. I think like 28 teams would come with all their coaches and scouts to see him perform, and he ended up pulling his hamstring and couldn't work out. And all the scouts and stuff were coming. And I'm talking about, no lie, I was showing out on my pro days,
Let's
man.
go. Let's go.
Really, it was his pro day, but I was showing out on his pro day, man. I'm talking about I'm running the fastest speeds that I ever ran, broad jumping over 11 feet, 41.5-inch verticals. Out there catching punts, returning kicks. I was doing everything. And after all of those workouts, my agent came to me and said, dude, you're shooting up some draft boards. Seriously. He said, I'm getting some good information that you might be, second round, late first round. And I'm like, ain't no way. And I was like, ain't no way. But when he gave me that information, I was like, oh, ain't no stopping now. You know what I mean? Ain't no stopping now. And I just continued to press my foot forward. And lo and behold, on draft day, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking that Canute's going to get drafted on the first day. So we're really there to support him. And in the late first round, my agent's like, come in the room. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, yo, I'm getting calls for you instead of Canute. And he was like, what? He was like, I was like, what should we do? Ain't this like his really like draft party, right?
Oh my God. You stole his pro day and his draft party. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm feeling kind of awkward. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, so I'm on the phone. My parents ended up coming down to West Virginia. We're like sitting around getting antsy and everything, and I'm starting to get a couple phone calls, man. And lo and behold, I get drafted in the second round with the 50th pick, going to Jacksonville, and we're celebrating. And Canute had yet to be drafted, and I'm like, oh man, like, what should we do? Like, should we party? Should we, like? So I went in the room and I'm talking to him, and he's like, look, man, I know I'm gonna get drafted at some point. Since you got drafted first, everything's on you tonight. You pay for all this party stuff. You know what I mean? You the one that's going to have the bigger check. So he said, let's get it. And that was my boy for life, man. He ended up naming his first son Logan. We got a great relationship. Awesome, yeah, he ended up getting drafted later by the Bengals in the 6th round. Went on to play like 6 or 8 years in the league. We still have a great rapport now. But it was an awkward draft day, boy. It was. I was like up and down emotionally. You know what I mean? Didn't know how to handle it. Didn't know what to do. But it all worked out, man.
No, I love that, man. That's a heck of a story right there, man. I love it, dude. Let's go. Said that's my pro day, and that's gonna be my draft party. I appreciate you, though.
No doubt.
Can you take us?
I footed the bill, though. I did have to foot that bill. You know what I mean? But I foot that bill.
I'm sure you weren't complaining about it, being that you did go a little earlier than him. So, salute it.
No doubt. It was a celebration, man. A good time. Good time for sure.
Can you take us through your relationship with Troy and that dynamic? Because they draft him essentially in a way to replace you, but you took on like a more of a mentorship role and kind of like lean into it. Can you just take me through that mentality and why you had it that way and why it ended up working out?
They definitely drafted Troy to replace me. There wasn't no essential about it. There wasn't nothing, sugarcoating it. They were like, listen.
No ifs. It happened.
No ifs, ands, buts, nothing. They were like, dude, you just, blew out your knee again. You're going into your seventh year in the league. You ain't as fast as you used to be. You ain't as distinctive. But there's a guy out in USC that can do all of those things that we're going to go after him and get. And I'm like, and listen, after watching this tape and seeing some of the things they do, I was like, oh, yeah, he got it. He got it.
Hey, Mike, I was like, Mike, it's certain ones that you could just look at. You're like,
bro,
he has it. That's the one.
Bro. Like he had that soul glow, that glow around him. You know what I'm saying? He was just it. I was like, this dude's coming here. And I was like, yo, we need to move. We need to start looking for some other locations because this dude is coming in to take my job. But it wasn't necessarily, in my mind, coming in to take my job. It was him coming in to make this team better in an area that needed to be upgraded.
Yeah.
And when you shift your mindset from, okay, the reality, the reality of the business and you know what it's about. So I shifted my mindset of saying, okay, I may not be the starter, I may not be the guy, but I said I can go and do what I know how to do again in training camp, come back and have the best training camp, and they'll find a place for me on this roster. I'm going to be in that 53. It doesn't matter if I'm the starting strong safety. It doesn't matter if I'm the backup free safety. It doesn't matter if I'm the wedge buster on special teams. I'm going to find a way to make this roster. And I was like, there's not 53 dudes better than me at these other positions that I can't fit into one of them. You know what I'm saying? Wherever it is. And that's the mentality I took on. And I think taking on that mentality made them drafting Troy to replace me easier. And then once you meet this dude, like, there's no way you wouldn't offer yourself up to him because that's the way he introduces himself. No. He offers himself up to you. Didn't know nothing about me, didn't care. He was just like, yo, came in. I felt his spirit, man. And it was just something about that. From that moment on, it was like, whatever I can do to help this dude, I'm going to do. I'm going to show him how it is to be a professional coming from college. On the football side of it, all I had to do was really give him the terminology. He knew everything else. His football IQ was outstanding. I think at the beginning, he was just trying to come in and do so much because there was so much pressure on him to upgrade that position that he made a few rookie mistakes. But that was a short spurt of time from him making mistakes. Once he got into it and understood what we were trying to do and what they were asking of him, There was no stopping that. And through him growing and through him learning, I started to grow and learn and expand. Because I think as veterans, sometimes you be like, I got this. I know it all. You know what I mean? And you kind of cap yourself off.
Yeah.
With Troy doing some of the things that he was able to do with his athletic ability and his football knowledge, I started learning from him. I'm like, oh, there's another way that we can do that. You know what I mean? But he was so physically gifted that he was able to do some things that I know I physically couldn't do at that time. But I was like, okay, I know how to take a different angle to get here. I know how he's studying film, or he would be sitting down analyzing something and seeing something with his new, fresh set of eyes that I may have become stagnant and not being able to see just because I've been doing it for so long. So he was able to point out some things from me. So how could you not have a great relationship with a guy who's seeing insight and giving you insight on what he sees from a new perspective, and I'm giving him what I got from an older perspective and telling him how things went and how things were. I mean, it just went hand in hand. And then when you get in tune with somebody's spirit, man, there's no stopping what can go with their relationship and how far it will go. And that spirit bond got my name called out on the Hall of Fame.
Talk about it,
bro.
Talk
got my name called out on. Listen, do you know people still come up to me? I'm in Giant Eagle yesterday. Matter of fact, I'll do you one better. I'm in Bob Evans this morning with my son after coming from his basketball camp. We're sitting down, we're having some breakfast. This lady's, my son is talking. He's being kind of loud, and this lady she just starts laughing. She's like, "Oh, my grandson," and she goes to talking about her grandson, and I'm like looking at her, and I was like, "Do they know who I am?" Because they just kept on having this dialogue, but they didn't. And I said, she had a nice rapport with my son, so I ended up going and picking up their check, and I was just like, "It was great to talk to y'all. I hope my son wasn't a bother and everything." Yeah. And then her husband comes up, and he's like, "You're a ball player," and I'm just like, and as he's talking, and he's telling me, they're fans or whatever, and then this guy overhears it. He comes up and he said, "Man, listen, how did it feel to have your name called out in Canton at the Hall of Fame?" He said, "It gave me chills just from knowing that you're from Pittsburgh and, that Troy called you out." And I said, "That feeling that you got, I still have till this day." I mean, till this day, to know that my name was called out on stage by one of my teammates, by one of my brothers, man, it's like I went into the Hall of Fame with him. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that because that's going to be one of the most
that's forever. Absolutely.
Plays speeches over and over again. And every time, a class goes in and the Pittsburgh Steelers goes in, they're going to think about that. And my name is going to be brought up. He kept my name relevant for years in the most coveted place for the NFL players to go. So, I mean, when you talk about can't put some things into work, and this is how I know I've been blessed infinitely, because I'm 14, 15 years out the league, and I'm still, I still have a presence in who I was to my teammates. And that's what it's all about, man. If you can leave a lasting legacy, on your teammates, on, the franchise you played for, that makes everything come full circle, man. I mean, the wins were great. The money was great. All of that's great. But when you can leave an impact from your legacy with your teammates on the highest stage, man, I don't even know if I'm worthy for that, but obviously he felt I was, man, and I'm just truly grateful for that dude.
No, man, that is awesome, man. And Troy, of course, a awesome human, man, an awesome spirit, man. No, that is awesome right there. Love to hear that. Now, I want to ask you, we got to talk a little college ball as well, man, because
no doubt.
My co-host right here, he's a Pitt alum. I just want to throw that out there. Now I got to get it out there ahead of time.
Here we go.
You're like the 10th WVU guy he's brought on. I can't believe it.
Man.
I don't think we brought on a Pitt guy yet.
Here we go.
So I did want to talk to you a little bit, though, man. We obviously know the Backyard Brawl versus Pitt is coming back up, man, renewed and things like that, man. Just talk a little bit about, that matchup, man, and what it's meant for you during your time being a member of it, and also what you're looking forward to seeing with the rivalry being renewed coming up in 2 weeks, I believe it is.
September 1st.
Yeah.
September 1st. For me, this is the way collegiate football is supposed to be. When you have two universities 80 miles apart, know each other, you know there's all kind of battles going on for recruitment. You know that the players are going to know each other coming from local high schools, and this is what collegiate sports is all about. And don't get me wrong, I love the NIL deals. I love that money is getting spread out amongst the players, and but these realignments and West Virginia going out west to play teams and all of this type of stuff, man. And you're supposed to keep these rivalries, and you're supposed to have these hard-nosed spot battles between universities that are that close. And for me, it's really personal because I'm born and raised in Pittsburgh. I wanted to go to the University of Pitt.
Oh, okay.
So I did want to go there.
Okay.
1991, I think Coach Hackett didn't feel like I was a scholarship athlete at that time.
Oh, so they made the biggest mistake of their lives. Is that what you're telling us? It sounds like that, man.
So basically, I went into my high school coach's office, and I knew about West Virginia, but I said, who is Pitt's most hated rival? This is a true story, bro. True story. Sal Sinceri came to our school. He said, we're offering one scholarship to one guy on your team, and his name is Jason Chavis, because I just knew it was for me. And I said, Coach, West Virginia is their biggest, most hated rival? He said, yes. I said, well, I'm going down to WVU, and I'm going to kick their ass for 4 years.
Wow.
Best believe that. And guess what? I was undefeated against Pitt during my tenure at West Virginia. So you know what it means for me. But, truth be told, man, I am still a Pitt fan. I still cheer for those guys. I have a lot of my family and friends who are alumni of Pitt. What this game means for, all the alumni and all the people around here, I think is just instrumental in telling what collegiate football is all about, man. So I'm looking forward to that game. I really am.
Let's go.
Do you have a little scouting report you could give?
What
are your expectations at WVU? Because I'm pretty high on Pitt right now.
Baby, pain! No, man.
Is there anything you're worried about?
You know what? For me, it really doesn't matter what the teams are doing.
Like Steelers Ravens kind of type of thing.
You know what I'm saying? Really, you kind of throw the playbooks out the window per se, and you go out there and you just play hard-nosed football, because there's so much excitement around the history and tradition of what the Backyard Brawl is. Emotions are going to be flying high. So I don't think this game is the one that's played with solid technique and within the lines. I think you go and just scribble on the page, and the outcome is what it is. You know what I mean? Whoever wants it more, whoever has the most desire in their heart and isn't fearful of going out and losing, I think that's who wins. And I think that's what makes the Backyard Brawl so special.
Take me home to
Country
the
road. Hey, baby, listen. There won't be no greater feeling than if West Virginia wins that game on the first.
Are we talking to TG?
Singing Country Roads in Acura Stadium. There will be no greater joy for me. I'm letting you know. Letting you know right now.
Oh, man, I wish you could see my co-host right now. He is going through it. He is going through it right there, man. But it's almost heaven. It's okay. It's almost heaven, baby. But, Mike, I do got to ask, man, this is the last one we have for you, man, and you have been awesome. The audience, they love you, man. We really appreciate you taking this time, man, to join us on our show, man. It really means a lot to us. But what I want to know from you, man, is if you could just share with us your welcome to the NFL moment.
Oh, man. So listen to this, though. My rookie year, preseason, we're going out to San Francisco to play the 49ers. I'm in a position where I'm vying for starting at free safety, but I'm playing nickel and dime, and they're like, you know, you're going to start the game. We're going to start the game in nickel, I think it was. And, you know, I go out there. I'm just so excited to get lined up. And I look up, and guess who I'm covering? Jerry Rice.
Sheesh.
Jerry Rice. No lie. It was
Let's
like that shock moment when you're like, because I'm like, dude, I used to play Tecmo Bowl with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like the greatest. So I was so in awe that I almost missed the snap count. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he just ran an out route or something, and I covered him, right? I'm going out. You would have thought that I made the biggest play in the world. Like, dude, I came off so confident and walked to the sideline like I was big dog. And they like, dude, they ain't even throwing the ball. I'm like, man, I just covered Jerry Rice, bro.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying?
Locked him up. Yeah.
I locked him up. In my mind, that dude was covered. I had already in my mind made the phone call home like, Dad, guess who I D'd up today, bro? I'm telling you, I was all up in his mug, man. But that was the moment for me when I was like, man, you really play in the league, bro. You really play in the league. And, you know, of course you have to get over that kind of fast, because I remember going back to the huddle, and at the time, I played with Big Clyde Simmons. And he's like, rookie, get it together, bro. You here now. You know what I mean? Ain't no time for bright eyes, deer in the headlights.
Act like you belong.
Let's go.
Jeez.
Yeah, like, let's go. You a part of this. So I had to wake up pretty fast, but I ain't going to lie, man. I was like, dude, that's pretty cool that I got to cover Jerry Rice, man. You know what I mean?
Yo, without a doubt.
First play, man. First play. Awesome.
No, I love that right there, man. That is awesome. Mike, man, you have been awesome, man. I feel like we could talk to you forever, whether it's Jacksonville stories, Steelers stories, W stories, man. No, but we really sincerely appreciate taking some time, man. We'll have to have you back on at some point this year as well, man.
Definitely. One quick thing, man.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, man.
One quick thing I wanted to add in. I wish I could have shared the field with you, bro.
Oh, man.
I wish I could have shared the field with you, bro. You're the type of dude that I would have loved to be a teammate to, man.
Respect, man. And definitely likewise on that as well, man. Without a doubt.
No doubt, man. No doubt, man. I want you to just know I'm following you, bro. I support what you do. Keep doing your things, man. You're doing awesome things in the community. Great family, man. Love the pictures of you and your wife. Always doing your thing, man. Stand-up guy. Listen, bro. I'm honored to be on the show. Anytime you guys need me or want me to come on, man, just reach out. And I'm sure we'll be crossing paths in the community.
Absolutely. You already know that.
Doing different things, man. So I appreciate you guys, man.
From the heart, man. From the heart, man. Definitely appreciate you on that, man. And like I said, man, you one of the dudes that paved this way anyways, man, doing this media thing, man, as we already talked about.
Appreciate it.
Salute,
it, man. Definitely.
I like it, man. So until next time, baby. I'll talk to you later, baby. Appreciate you again, though.
All right, now. Let's go, Ears.
No. Out of pay.
I like it, baby. Gotta hit him with a let's go Ears on the way out. Sheesh.
Dude, I literally thought it was TG talking for a little bit.
He went on that run for you. I was like, okay. Shout out to Mike Logan, though, man. Spending some time with us. Oh, man, that was a blast talking with him, man. Ton of stories.
That was awesome.
Dude. Yeah, that was phenomenal right there, man.
That was awesome. You saw some of the chat early on, right?
I saw a little bit of it. I couldn't, because I had, I'll be over here trying to do all that. I'll be willing and dealing.
I mean, you can't be saying you weren't thinking it too, but they're saying we got to get Devin Bush on the phone with Mike Logan.
I did see that part. And yes, but this is part of the reason why when you talk about a Mike Logan and you hear that, this wasn't a dude that was undrafted. This wasn't a dude that was a 6th or 7th round draft pick. He's a 2nd round draft pick. You know what I mean? But it's like you hear the hunger. You hear when he talks about what it means to him each and every year. And it's like, man, this is what we expect. This is what it's supposed to sound like. But then you get, younger guys at times saying things that are very different to that. And it's just like, man, where's the disconnect happening and stuff like that? But no, man, without a doubt, dude, Mike, man, he's one of those dudes, man. When you talk about doing it the right way, the work ethic, the handling himself off the field, even his role as a mentor to a Troy Polamalu. I'm laughing hearing that story because I'm like, dude, I know that feeling when you bring in a TJ Watt and you look and you're like, yeah, babe, we ain't got an answer for that. That's different. I know what that's like. Absolutely. And she's like, yep. But you can go one or two ways with it, right? you can fight it and hate it and be a cancer to the team, or you take it on and say, you know what, this guy's going to help us all out. You take that mentorship, you be there for him, you support that guy in any capacity that you can. But like you said, man, that ego part, you got to be super humble and super just like, yo, the team is bigger than me to take that approach, man.
I think we got a couple of those guys in this draft with Pickett and Pickens, hopefully.
Man, I'm hoping so as well, dude.
Feels like it, no? I mean, we were talking about it after that preseason game, how much it seemed to matter to Pickett, and then also, I mean, we've seen it from day one with Pickens.
No, without a doubt, man. We definitely have, man. We definitely have. So, yeah, man, we hope y'all enjoyed that interview, though, man, from the heart. Awesome. From the heart. All right, so let's pay a bill real quick, then after that, man, we'll get back on schedule. Sounds good?
Works for me.
All righty. And I did see some people talking about things that needed to be trimmed or cut, and it made me think of Manscaped. Because we know during this time of year, sometimes you got to trim the bush a little bit. Sometimes you got to be careful with the short and curlies. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about my friends at Manscaped. Because you know they are the leaders in below the waistline grooming. Deke, you're aware of that, right?
Yeah.
You know they keep the grass low so the tree can show a little bit more. We with you on all that. And that's so we appreciate them. But that Lawnmower 4.0 in particular is the one that always stands out to me. You know, that one with the light on it. Turns on and off. Because some of these got lights that they don't turn on and off. That's not acceptable. You got to have options. Daytime, nighttime, primetime game. You know what I'm saying? Daytime game. But that's what the Lawnmower 4.0 brings to the table, along with a plethora of other healthcare options. Man, you're talking the shampoo, the body wash. Did you want to talk about the body wash?
Yeah, I've been using it ever since Manscaped sent over the care package. The body wash, the shampoo, got me smelling good, feeling fresh.
I personally, you come in here daily, I'm like, yo, Deke, you smell really nice, bro.
Thanks.
I wanted to hug you the other day. I just didn't want to make it awkward. But that's what you bring to the table, man. That's what Manscaped brings to the table,
the body spray, too.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, with that being said, we also know that when we talk about anybody up here, we got to have something for you. And that's a promo code. It's Moats. You use that, you'll get you 20% off of your purchase at manscaped.com along with free shipping worldwide. So, Deke, to me, this sounds like a no-brainer. It sounds like one of those things like, don't waste your time.
A win-win.
Yeah. They're doing for you. You're going to do for you. And you're also going to do for others. But either way, man, definitely use that promo code. And your dangly twins will appreciate you. So, appreciate you, Manscaped, for that. All righty. So let's hop into these supers. We'll catch up on those, and then after that, yeah, I figured
because chat was heavy during that Mike Logan interview.
Yeah, sometimes it is heavy like that.
I've literally lost everything. I think I'm down to the last one, and that is Cameron.
We'll say the last one for now. You know how this goes.
You want me to do the last one? Save it?
No, I said that's the last one. I was like, for now, but you know how this
sure,
goes.
sure.
You know.
Oh, we're very grateful.
Yeah, super grateful. All right, so Malik Hammond pulled up and says, y'all watch that Pivot podcast? ? Much love. No, we have not. We've been hearing rumblings about it, though.
Pivot's
definitely hearing rumblings about
making some way in our show. It's been a theme.
Nah, man.
People been talking about
it. Though, man, I'm loving, the fact that RC doing what he doing, building up the way that he is, man. I'm big supporters of like the dudes that go that route. Like for RC, he's still doing the corporate thing, right, with his ESPN part, but he's paralleling it, creating his own entity over here. Like I love that type of concept. That's something that I try to do on a smaller scale, but that's kind of like the mindset with it. You want to be able to still hop into that corporate thing where you got to button it up, but at the same time, man, be able to come over here and create your own little baby, man. So, I salute him for that, man. And here we go. AJ Martinez pulls up on us and says, Najee takes on the pivot were awesome. Number 1, single. Number 2, he has a small circle of friends. And number 3, 110% focus on the Steelers being a nightmare to defend. I like that. All right, so he has 0 distractions.
We might have to watch this and talk about it.
Yeah, man. Seriously, dude. That's what it sounded like. That might be Friday's show. We're reacting to the Najee interview on the Pivot. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, man. Obviously, those dudes are doing awesome work over there. We talked about the Coach Tama interview that they had. Phenomenal. And just how they're doing this thing now where I'm even enjoying that they're doing on-location stuff. They were obviously at Steelers training camp. They were in Cincinnati. I know they have a similar interview episode with, like, the trio of receivers they have over there. So it's like cool seeing that dynamic like that with those dudes, man. But no, we'll definitely check that out, man. Yeah, single, small circle of friends, 100% focus, 110% focus. All right, I like it.
Sounds like he's got everything taken care of.
Sounds about right, man. Sounds about right. All right, Juicebox 32. He says, George Pickens, are you with me? Or in the words of Kurt Franklin, GP, are you with me? I figured I had to say George Pickens first because I didn't think everybody was going to get the Kurt Franklin reference. I'm with you, okay? I'm with you. He says, oh, yeah, we having church. We ain't going nowhere. Because on that song, it's like, oh, yeah, we going nowhere. Old school's like early 90s type.
I know some
music,
Kirk
you know what I'm
Franklin.
saying? Yeah.
I don't recognize that one, though.
Yeah, that's one of his, like, you heard of Stomp? Oh,
Yeah.
my brother say that's that song.
Revolution.
Yeah, but this Stomp is like that's like the one, if you're like, have you ever heard Kurt Franklin? You heard of Stomp? Stomp? Oh, my brother say Stomp? Like, that's like the one. It's like, all right. So, yeah, Revolution was like the next one right after that, though.
Yeah.
So, I'm with you on that, man. You in tuned. But Juicebox32 says, 'tis the season, and here we go. Absolutely love that, man. AJ Martinez, he says 8 needs the weight room. In terms of when we were asking him what was he specifically talking about, he says he needs the
Why?
weight room. Maybe he wants to be a little bigger, man.
I think
You
he's
know?
fine. No, you don't want that for your quarterback.
Yeah.
You don't want him looking like Tebow or Brady Quinn out there all
Yeah,
stiff
man.
and shit. No way.
Gotta have fluidity, gotta have mobility, man, and that shoulders and stuff like that, man.
Yeah, you see Brady. I mean,
Yeah, that's
perfect
what it
example.
is.
Dude hasn't
Liability,
like
bro.
probably actually lifted a weight
Yeah.
in how long? He's just been
Yeah.
doing those bands and his own
Mhm.
little TB12 method.
Yep. That's it, man.
Arm strength is as good as ever.
I would agree. I would definitely agree. And accuracy, more importantly. All right, AJ Martinez. He also says, I'm not sure 8 can take a pounding like 7. In the sense of how 7, we know, especially early on in his career, man, he took a lot of shots, but that was one of his things. He was the big, tough guy, tough to bring down.
Different NFL.
Yeah, but I guess if we're looking in the context of how last season went for 7, in terms of if we're saying those type of shots he was taking at times, I think like the Raiders
It was
game,
bad,
that Bengals game, yeah, that
Vikings
was
game,
definitely
he was
bad.
getting lit up in the first half.
So yeah, I can see in that context, but I still don't even think that lifting weights per se would help Kenny, because Kenny's frame is nowhere near Ben's frame.
He's 6'3" anyway. It's
That's
not
what
like
I'm
he's
saying,
skinny.
Yeah, but like I'm thinking like 7. Like 7's a big body. Like 7 could be an offensive tackle if he wanted to. You know, he's just super gifted at quarterback. To me, Kenny's frame is not gonna ever look or be comparable to that. I'm just hoping that we just take care of him regardless of how big he gets or not. I mean, there's plenty of guys in the league that are smaller than him. You think about a Justin Herbert. You think about a Lamar Jackson. Those guys, very wiry in their frames, and they've taken shots, and they're fine. So with Kenny, I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, they hung 7 out to dry last year. They're not going to do that with Pickett because they're going to.
Because he's the upgrade, bro.
Nah, they upgraded the O-line for Pickett. Canada's going to
rightfully
have
so,
Pickett
man.
running the whole mobility and all that
when
stuff.
you got that new Ferrari, you can't put them old Ferrari tires on it. You got to get new Ferrari tires. Everybody know that, man. Come on now.
No,
Everybody
sometimes
know
the
that, bro.
classic's the best. They
Yeah.
got those 69 Mustangs. Don't they
Yeah,
normally like?
But they don't have Bluetooth.
say
in
those
them.
are. Don't they normally say those are like the top 5 cars of all time?
That's like when people say baseball is
on.
America's favorite pastime. It's like no one watches baseball. It's about football, bro. Like I get it, man. It sounds good.
If the
It sounds
Pirates
good.
were good, this is a little off topic, but
I'm
if
with
they,
you, though.
if they were good, I think
I
they
would
would be
love
more
the
popular
Pirates.
than the Penguins. No one's going to beat the Steelers.
No, you're right. They would be more popular than the Penguins. They're just not good. That's the issue.
Yeah, the problem
That's
with
it. You're
baseball
100% right,
here
though, bro.
is more of just the Pirates. Like
Yeah, you're 100%
Yankees,
right.
Red Sox,
It's not
teams
even
that
a
are
debate.
perennially good,
Not
they're
even a
still
debate.
always buzzed because
Yeah.
they're packing the stadiums.
Always. You're absolutely right on that, man. All right, we got Timothy Peoples. Shout out to Timothy Peoples. Man, I need this Pirates. Man, I want to go see their game this weekend. I was contemplating going tomorrow, but me and you got fun we doing tomorrow, man. We get to go golf.
There's a Bucks game tomorrow.
Yeah, they're playing, they're playing the
Boston.
Sox. Yeah.
Right, yeah. I saw them
it's
on
the,
TV
it's the
last
last, I want to say either tomorrow or Friday is the last of the Sox series. Then they have the Reds. Then it's the Braves. So I was like, oh, man, I go see the Sox. Then I was like, oh, nah, that ain't gonna work. So I'm thinking.
You didn't go see the Yankees,
I
did
did
you?
not. No. So I was like, I went to go see the Sox. So I might settle on Sunday and see him versus the Reds. But the weather's supposed to be all jacked up these next couple days, or once the weekend hits. So I'm like, I ain't trying to be. I'm not watching the Pirates in the rain. I'm not watching the Pirates if it's just rain. Like I ain't doing that. So that's my dilemma right now, man.
Dude, I think that's better sometimes though
You do?
than the 80 degrees just sitting out there in the sun getting fried on a Sunday day game. I hate that. I hate that feeling.
So when it's Sunday at 1:30, I do this. I sit back where you're, you know,
Okay.
like that. Where it's like
Yeah,
covered
yeah,
up
yeah.
a little bit. So that's like my approach. I sit there to kind of protect that part of it.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, man, if it's raining, like, But we were also thinking about trying something new because, you know, with Gray now being like in the baseball, like sitting right down there by the dugout so he can like see the play, especially if they got the net up there. Because I did it beforehand when they used to not have a net. And I was just like, bro, I don't want to feel like I'm in the game. I was feeling like I was in the game,
yeah.
man. Them balls coming down that third base line or that first
I
base line.
prefer
You're like,
sitting
bro,
up high,
what?
to be honest with you.
Yeah. But for us, it was more so, like I said, just him being able to see that part. But yeah, man, shout out to the Pirates. Only you could get us to talk about them that quick, man. Anywho, AJ Martinez. Oh, the chat just jumped. Give me a second. Hold on, I just had you. Wait a minute. Wait, there we go. AJ Martinez. He says, the fans have spoken. Kenny, during the game. Nah, you're right, man. That's who they want. That's who the fans need. It'd be interesting to see, man, what he looks like this week, though.
I would just like to see him get a fair shot. I'd like to see him with Pickett, or Pickens and Claypool and Deontay, that type of stuff. That's really it.
Yeah, I could dig that.
At some point, let us see it. Whether it's this preseason game, the next preseason game. If Mitch keeps playing good, though, I mean, I get the reasoning of like, hey, we're just gonna sit the rookie, take our time with him, like. Mitch, I mean, I think with any of these quarterbacks, I've talked about it. I think we can win with any of these guys.
No, 100% we can. Like, nah, I don't think that's a debate at all. We definitely could, man. All right, Farron Bradford is next up. He says, Moats, can I email you about internship opportunities with the Steelers? I'm in school online right now and transitioning out of the military, out of the military to the military, trying to work my way up as a scout or whatever they see fit. Yeah, I wouldn't send it to me. I would, like, if you go on Steelers website or their community relations page, or they have like a couple of different tabs up there, man, where they'll have like specific departments where you can send your information to them, and it'd be way more effective than me, like you sending it to me and me trying to do that for you. So yeah, I would go that approach, man. Or like you could take like the old school grassroots approach where you just call up the like the numbers on the website or whatever, like the front desk person or whatever. And you just basically ask them, hey, look, I'm trying to get an internship here. I'm trying to get an opportunity. Where can I apply? Or where can I send my information? And they will communicate that, because that is something that happens a lot in the sense of coaches trying to get in, whether it's people trying to get into the athletic training facility or the athletic training department and stuff like that, or even media and public relations. Like, we're constantly, and I say we because I'm like a part of it, but I'm not like there in terms of decision making or, hey, talk to this person, you know what I mean? Sure. But yeah, as a whole, they do a good job of that though, man. So that's what I would recommend instead of sending it to me directly. All right, C-Node. He says, I don't know what these are. It's like offense nichlik. Looks currently amazing.
Is it English?
Oh, greets from Austria. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna try to translate. I'm assuming he's saying the offense currently looks amazing, and Pittsburgh is in Pickens or Pickettsburg. He's called Pickburg. So Pickensburg is real. Greets from Austria. That's got to be it, bro. That had to be it. Nah, so, man. Salute that though, man. And salute you, baby. Absolutely from Austria, man. Hey, I like that. But yeah, I'm with you on that, man. Offense definitely has been looking good. And even this the practice yesterday, like I said, man, for the way that they've been able to put together a string of performances offensively against this defense, it's shifted a little bit from what it was initially, where the defense was so dominant and they weren't winning in any drills. The offense is definitely starting to close that gap a little bit, and no surprise because the offense is getting back healthy also. You talk about Deontay Johnson being back out there. You talk about Chase Claypool being back out there. Najee Harris as well. Pat Frymouth was going off yesterday. He had 2 tutties out there. You would have loved it. You know, so it's guys like that. It's like, yeah, that's why this offense can be very dangerous. We said skill position wise, we feel we are elite in terms of that avenue. It's more so, what does this offensive line look like? But we love what we have in terms of the skill position, and that was before we even brought in George Pickens. Now you have him here, and it's like, dude, pick your poison right now. So without a doubt, yeah, the offense is definitely on one right now. All right, Stella Fierce. Shout out to Stella Fierce. Danny Smith was smiling post game. Do you think special teams are doing well? Without a doubt, I do. We obviously dropped the punter and the kicker that we used in that first game, but Presley Harvin had a awesome day punting yesterday, man. 60-yarder, 70-yarder, good hang time too, not just distance. Because as I told y'all, and that was something that Presley struggled with at times, understanding that concept. It's not always about the distance, it's about the hang time. You need those 4 seconds so that way your coverage unit can get down there. If you outkick your coverage or your placement of the ball is not out by those numbers towards the sideline, if you're middle of that field with no hang time, you are doing your team a disservice and you're screwing your coverage unit.
Yeah.
So with that, man, Preston has definitely been improving there. With Boz, he just got the new deal, so we're very, very comfortable and confident in him. And when you just talk about the core guys that we have on special teams, some of these names that we talk about, it's like we feel good about them, and we feel good about the potential additions to the special teams as well, man. So for Danny, it makes sense that he was smiling. I know when I talked with him, we were out there at practice, he felt really good about the situation. I mean, I was surprised that he didn't have bubblegum in his mouth. I felt alarmed. I thought the world was about to end. I was like, I've never seen him without like 4 pieces mandatory.
Maybe there's a shortage.
Or maybe he's confident. It's one or the other. He's either shortage or he's very confident. I'm hoping either way it works out for us, though. But, yeah, that's that situation right now, man. But, no, I could definitely understand him feeling good about it.
Yeah.
All right. AJ Martinez spinning the block again. He says, Mason, revenge 2022. Get ready for the tour, D. Get ready for the tour.
Who's he playing on? What's his team?
Oh, man, you got to stop that. Mason, you rocking with the black and gold, right?
I don't know.
Revenge to all the fake fans out there?
I don't know.
For each and every one of you who booed me, I'm pulling cases.
He should. He should say that.
You know what I'm saying?
He should say that.
Yeah.
If he does go off this season.
And every time he score, nah, don't clap for me. You want to clap for, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, just go that route.
I think we'd appreciate that type of energy.
I'm not gonna lie, it would be hilarious. it would look like a Key and Peele skit or something like from a TV show, but I would love it. Just every time. Flipping the double birds. Oh, don't clap for me.
He wouldn't do it. He's been way too savvy in how he's handled the media and the fans.
He would
stuff.
not. He definitely would not. All right, we got Solo One. Solo One says, "Hello guys. Well, what up though? Wide receivers. Will we keep 6? If so, Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Calvin Austin III, Gunnar Olszewski. I'm gonna call him Gunnar. His mama named him Gunnar. I'm gonna call him Gunnar. Push and pay. Hey. And he says, and who with the question mark for the last spot between Steven Sims, Miles Boykins, and the preseason game-winning catch recipient, Tyler Vaughns. At this point, if you had to determine based on preseason week 1, for me personally, I think I would roll with it's either Boykins or Sims for me because both of them bring something to the table special teams wise that I really like. My only issues with Sims is it a little bit overkill because I already have Gunnar Olszewski. That's my only concern because
and Austin too.
Yeah, you're absolutely right in terms of like having that speed, in terms of having the extra return men out there. It's like I already have multiple guys, and I also have a Deontay Johnson for worst case if I wouldn't put him out there, but in the sense of if you had to get out of a stadium, this is a former All-Pro return man. That's all I'm speaking on in that context. I do not want to put him out there at all, but that's the context though.
Yeah, he shouldn't be trying to catch the ball.
Yeah. I don't want
just let the punt roll on the ground.
Yeah, dude, because we know. And
do
we
a little decoy, fake like you're gonna fair catch it. Get out of the way.
Y'all thought I was crazy when I said that first year, and I'm like, bro, y'all don't understand. Like this ain't it. We saw that Giants
first game.
Boy,
I don't think we saw him
bruh.
again in the punt return spot the rest of the season.
We did not. He had 2 returns and it was a wrap. that part is very much real. Yes. You said you should let the ball just land and then get it. Jeez.
No, not even that. Just don't even. Yeah. Just get away from it. If it's a bomb, it hits at the 30 and somehow rolls into like a coffin corner within the 10. You just live with it.
We live with it. Yeah. Don't try to catch it.
At least it's not a turnover.
Don't try to catch it.
I'm 100% with you. I'm probably leaning Boykin because I think he brings an element that Sims doesn't have in terms of his physicality, his height. And he was drafted in the 3rd round. I mean, he's a talented dude. It's just he couldn't really get things going with the Ravens. So I could see if Claypool goes down, Pickens goes down at some point in the season, we can have Boykins replace their role for a couple games and just be fine with it. Whereas Sims, I'm with you. I liked what I really saw in the preseason from him with those jet sweeps and also the punt returning.
Absolutely, yeah.
But we already got an all-pro punt return man and Gunner. And Calvin Austin, based on the depth chart at least, was the backup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're good in that department. So I'm thinking Boykin. He had that one catch that I was really impressed with in that preseason game where he held it away from the defender, and
it looked like a big boy out there.
I don't know if Sims is doing those type of catches.
Yeah,
and that's the Claypool Pickens type of mold that Boykin can at least replace if one of them go down.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right, next up was Cal Monier. Shout out to Cal Monier. Says trade Devin Bush and Mason Rudolph and Derek Watt and a 3rd-round draft pick for Roquan Smith. Man, we tried to get them all the dumpsters. I mean, based on how everybody feels about or the majority of people feel about, I don't personally feel like that. But
Who did he say? He said it was three
Devin,
guys?
Devin Bush, Mason Rudolph, and Derek Watt.
And a third
And a third round pick.
We could do that. I'll do
Yeah,
that.
but if you're Chicago, why would you do that? Like, make it make sense to me. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, why would they want Derek Watt?
Just send the offer out there.
Yeah, but why would you want...
Send that as the framework and start building from there.
And why do you want Mason Rudolph if you're Chicago?
Back up to Fields.
But I don't see how that works. I don't see that dynamic like that.
Just throw it out there. See what they say.
Man. And then you like, yo, here, and we get Devin Bush. You want a Devin Bush? Get your Devin Bush in it. Man, I hope, but I doubt. Yeah.
Bush in the first rounder makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's like slim enough.
The Bears are already in
first round's
rebuild
enough.
mode, so you get a first round
But you
talent
think
in
they're in
Bush.
rebuild mode? I think they might be thinking they feel good.
Oh no way, they're gonna be terrible.
They have their quarterback.
They're gonna be bad. They don't have anything around for them.
But
I think their defense is gonna be bad too.
Well, I mean, we'll see about that.
I think they're gonna be worse in the division.
You think it'll be worse than because let's see, man. Green Bay, you got Aaron Rodgers, but a lot of question marks. He was complaining about receivers as well, which is pretty cool. Let's see. You also have Minnesota. You don't believe in them, but I think they'll
be better than the Bears.
They are very complete. And then you got Detroit, who on paper has a lot of upside, a lot of potential with that, but we just got to see if it can materialize. But they got Justin Fields. All you need is a quarterback, right? Quarterback give you a chance.
They have no one around them.
Quarterback give you a chance, right?
Mooney's their top receiver. He's not bad, but
he was a 1,000-yard receiver, though. Yeah.
Yeah, come on. They don't have anyone else, though. They're going to be struggling. I feel bad for Fields. They put him in a bad spot.
He did get beat up. Even in, it was like 15 plays. He got hit like 5 times, something like that. I'm like, yo,
their line's bad.
That's a lot,
I don't
dude.
think the defense is going to be good.
A lot. Yeah.
I mean, 4 or 5 wins for them.
Well, yeah, if their defense, I like the defense if Roquan is there. If Roquan is out there, you're right. That changes everything. That would. Yeah.
He's the only guy they got. Really. I mean, they got a couple other guys, but not enough to do anything. That's why I think a trade makes sense for him. I mean, you're going to lose with or without Roquan Smith. So it sucks because it's the whole Pirates mentality.
But if you're building around a Justin Fields, a Roquan Smith is a person that you want on your defense if you're still building this roster up with a Justin Fields as the focal point. Because you got 2 young studs, potentially, guys that are going to be able to grow up together. You think about no different than a Bobby Wagner and a Russell Wilson, right? Like, you having both of those guys young together at the same time, like, yeah, you watch them grow. Roquan's a couple years ahead of Justin, obviously, but it's like they're still very much young, talented dudes. So that's the part for me where I'm just kind of like, if you're Chicago, why would you want to give up Roquan? And partly why we have seen them say that they're not trying to give him up either, because of that element.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see, though, man. We'll see what happens with that. Cal Moyer also says, bring back Joe Hayden, a 1-year deal for the Super Bowl run. He would definitely give a lot more depth to this situation, man. But we talked about what that does to the top of this order as well, man, and potentially stunt some of those guys.
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
Yeah. All right. Al Taylor, he says, Devin Bush is not a Steeler. He's mentally gone? ? Is he a liability ? I
thought once a Steeler, always a Steeler.
That's my energy with it, man. Good or bad, I don't care how it looks for you. I respect you as a Steeler. It just is what it is. But in terms of the mentality, that's the part that's still in question for me. I know a lot of people have spoken for him throughout his career here when he may look or say or tweet anything that looks a little out the ordinary. I've not one of those dudes, so that's why for me, I really couldn't tell you mentally what that's like for him, because I've been thinking like, bro, this is off, this ain't right. But they say, oh, he's young or he's funny or it doesn't matter, so it's like, all right, cool, I get it. But the liability part, I don't think he's a liability. I don't think he's that right now, but I do think that he would be a detriment to our defense if he continues to be like this in 3 weeks when the regular season gets here. Right now it's the preseason. You still got time. You can get away with this. You can come through this. This can't be the case when you're talking about week 1 and so forth. If we want this defense to be what we want it to be, because if I'm an offensive coordinator, I'm circling him and I'm saying that's the duck. That's the guy we go at every week. Every side of the ball does that. On defense, we'll find a guy on offense. We're like, this is the one. Everything comes around him. Everything we do revolves around this dude right here. Certain players like, yo, that's who it is. So right now, if I'm looking at Devin, I'm looking at him that way if I'm on offense. But this is the preseason, so he does have a chance to correct that. He has a chance to change that narrative, and we're just hoping that It happens sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
All right. Tommy Vincent, he says, Deke, before the season starts, would you like to make another wager on Devin Bush's performance for the first 2 weeks? My money is he doesn't start by week 3.
Wow, that's a good one. I still didn't even pay the 25 from last year.
You're right. And you were really, really like confident with it too, bro.
I mean, it took the first series for me to know I lost the bet.
It was not long. It was not long at all.
All
And you definitely looked over and was like, yep, I lost. I was like, yep.
All it was, too, was, hey, is Devin Bush going to have a good game, a reasonable game? And I was like, yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. This is where he starts the comeback. It was a bad game. I think it was the Bengals game.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Yeah. It was not good. It was not good.
Yeah, that was bad.
It was not good,
week 3. Being the starter?
That's a Thursday night game, right? Yeah,
up in Cleveland.
So you getting benched on the short week. Dang, you got to be playing real bad to get benched on the short week, bro.
Week 3 is the over-under.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
tough. That's
kind of a good line if you think about it.
Seriously, man.
I mean, because I'm really considering it one way or another.
Yeah.
We got time. Come back to me.
No rushing. All right. That's a good one right there, Tommy. I like that. Let's go, UW. Says, I don't know why people are so upset about the Red Sox announcer calling the Bucks pathetic. He's not wrong with 4 top 100 prospects and only 1 being top 50 and another 100 loss year on the way. Yeah, I didn't know that people were upset about that, man.
Oh, really? I didn't know either.
Yeah, I did not know that. Yeah.
A Red Sox announcer said it on their broadcast that the Pirates suck.
Yeah, but
who's up in arms about that?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, are we talking? It's the Pirates we're talking about now. You know how it's the Pirates we're talking about here now. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Sometimes it's not the player's fault. We could say it's organizational.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
we get ownership.
We
get
not
it.
The player's fault.
Yeah,
it's us just getting rid of really good players.
Yeah.
And
we go to cheap route. We get it.
We're
not
like one of the most profitable organizations.
Yeah.
So we don't pay the players.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I'm not up in arms about that. In fact, more people should call them out so we can get more change.
There's that one kid. Did you see that video where he wore that Sell the Team shirt in front of Nutting? That was hilarious.
But sometimes, man, you got to
put him on a hot seat.
Absolutely, man. Let him know this is not acceptable, man. All right, we got Q. He says Devin Bush plus Terrell Edmonds plus Benny Snell and a 2nd-round draft pick for Roquan. Holy smokes. Now, that might be a little enticing, though, because I love the Edmonds element and the Benny Snell.
I don't want to give up Edmonds.
Right, that's my thing. I don't want to give him up. Yeah. I know they hit you. Well, we got Damani Casey. I get that, but I'm an Edmonds fan. I like what Edmonds has done here. I do. And I know Mika likes that a lot as well. I like their rapport and that comfortability that both of those guys, bring to the table. And like I said, for Benny Snell, man, I still think that he is our RB2 right now. Yeah, I don't want to give those 2 dudes up, though. That's tough. I like that, though. It's getting better.
That might be a fair.
That's getting better. That's way better.
A fair deal.
Yeah, because if I'm Chicago, I like that package a lot. Those 3 players plus the 2nd-round draft pick, I can live with that. Devin Bush on an expiring contract, so it's not the end of the world. If he comes in and he looks good, great. If not, okay, I'm moving on anyways. But I got me Edmonds, so I can go ahead and re-sign. I got Benny Snell, who can help me out on my backfield, not just as a running back, but also as a blocker. And we know what he brings on special teams. So
plus the second
round pick as well. No, that'd be decent. Yeah. All right, we got EU says too early to talk about how the randomness of life is setting us up for a week 1 upset in Cincinnati as 6.5-point dogs. Same point spread as week 1 in Buffalo in 2021. Let's go. And way better situation, man. If we're talking about, just Cincinnati Bengals team right now. Joe Burrow, I think he just came back to practice 2 days ago from his what do they call it? Appendectomy. Yeah. So that has altered in terms of his preparation, in terms of his cohesiveness with their offense as a whole, and all those guys there. So yeah, no, it's this stuff like that could definitely be helping us out, working in our favor, man. I'm with it.
Good value on the Steelers there.
Yes, indeed.
I can't remember if I took the points or if I did money line. I think I just did money line.
Yeah, because they went straight up. It was good.
Yeah, I think I put like 20 or 30 bucks on it, won 90 or 100 profit.
Yeah, so that was a clean one.
Probably a very similar money line then.
More than likely,
the spread's the same. Money line's gonna be similar.
Absolutely. Next up, we got Mike Lang. Says, y'all boys hosting any tailgates this season? Me personally, I'm not. You know, I've come to my final decision. I'm chilling on tailgating. But that's also because I'll still be doing those, like, in terms of the home games, be out doing the pregame interviews on location, and then from there hosting those space talks that we did on last week's show. I'm going to make sure I do those on every single game as well. So that's the other part of why, for me, I'm not going to be out there doing all that, man. It's got to have that balance, man. And also gives me more flexibility in terms of that balance of work and home life. Get to actually watch the games with said family members, you know, and that's always fun. And then if we happen to go to the game, well, hey, we go to the game. But just gives us a lot more flexibility that way from my end.
I'll be out and about.
I know.
I'm not hosting it. I'll
Deke
be out
in
and
the streets,
about.
though.
I'll
Deke
be
in
out
the
and
streets.
about.
Y'all gonna see taco meat out there. Believe that. Y'all see taco meat. All right. Next up, Sean McCartney says, many want Devin Bush traded because of Roquan Smith trade request. But if the Bears hold on to him or is traded somewhere else, I don't know who would be available and better than Devin Bush.
I mean, we could find people. I just don't know if they're available or not. We can find people to make up, like, yeah, this could be a good trade.
Yeah.
It's just, are they trying to trade them? You got to look at teams like Chicago that you don't think are going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
The team that's coming to mind right now is like Falcons with
Yeah.
Deion Jones.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find a trade partner like that. I don't know if they're trying to trade him, but it could make sense because I'm not saying they're tanking, but if they're not going to have a good record, why pay a dude X when you could start building for your future?
I would agree with you on that. Well, I guess for me, man, I don't hate the fact that even a Robert Spillane, I'm like, I can get by with a Robert Spillane and a Miles Jack. I'm very comfortable with that if that had to be the case. So that would kind of be my alternative to this whole, if we didn't make a move for Roquan or we couldn't trade for another proven commodity, a proven upgrade, you know, I still think that Robert Spillane can give you more consistency than what we're getting from Devin, because at least you know exactly what you are getting from Robert. So that's kind of my ordeal with that, man.
Hey, speaking of linebackers, you see one of our former players in his tweet. I mean, we're talking about Devin Bush and everything.
Oh, what happened?
Ready for this one?
Uh-oh.
Let me pull him up. Avery Williamson.
Oh, yeah, I did see. Yeah, I knew you're talking about. Yep. I knew what you're talking about.
It's a pretty good one. He's got to be talking about Devin Bush, right?
Yeah.
There's no doubt. I see some of these linebackers still can't tackle. Coaches give them 9 lives. Cat connection. You know who you are.
And you peep the cat connect. Okay. And it's not like he hasn't been talking about Steelers anywho, because he has a George Pickens when we talks about him as well in a positive light.
George Pickens might be that dude.
Come on now. How many tweets away was that?
Same day.
Oh, okay. So you said it was on the mind then a little bit. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
15th. When was August 15th?
It's 2 days ago.
Okay. So I was wondering if that was game day or not. So that was just
2
Monday.
days ago, man.
He just woke up on a Monday.
It was after
had
the
some
game.
things to
They
get
was
off his
telling me.
chest.
So he had time to digest it, rewatch the tape at one point.
He's checking out the tape.
Come on, man.
Does he want to join the team again?
Would you take him over Devin Bush right now?
I'll take our chances with Bush and Spillane.
Fair enough. All right. Next up, and I do agree with you on that. I probably would as well. Just because when we did have Avery here, the way that they utilize him, it didn't work out. You know what I mean? And I partly wonder too, even from his perspective, if he would be apprehensive. You know, if they even said,
I don't think he necessarily left on the best terms.
Yeah. So, and based on the energy with that tweet, it doesn't sound like, you know, he's too fond of the way that things are run here. And I do understand that feeling. I do 100%.
You sure he wasn't just watching like a 49ers game or a random game?
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, maybe that's what it was, man. All right, official momentum. He says, Moats, tell Coach Tomlin and company, yo, from me. I got you, baby. All right. We got Wade Afraid. Shout out to Wade Afraid. Says, thoughts on Calvin Austin III. I'm hyped for our wide receiver room. Maybe the deepest room in the AFC.
Yeah, I wish we could have seen him in the first preseason.
Seriously, I'm hoping that we get a chance to see him on Saturday. You know, as soon as we get to see him, then we can talk about him in the manner that is more tangible to in-stadium stuff, like with George and with Miles Boykin and Steven Sims. Like, we feel a lot more confident about them.
And
just
Gunner,
because,
dude. I was really
Gunner,
impressed with Gunner.
because we got to see it in stadium. That changed a lot. Gunner could have been doing this, and he has been doing this at times in training camp practices, but it doesn't matter. It's practice. It doesn't hit the same. Seeing him in stadium, think about how we talk about him now. So it's definitely a part of that, man. All right. 1148 JH93. He says, Moats, where can I get that hoodie? Oh, shout out to, the Arthur Experience with Deke
Then we'll
podcast.
drop the link
lady.
at the beginning.
Absolutely.
We talked about it at the beginning.
We'll refresh it. So so any of the videos that you see, the live videos, the just the homepage on YouTube and stuff like that, it has the merchandise, the different shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, crew necks, stuff like that. You click on any of that, it'll take you to the landing page for the Arthur Experience with Deke podcast page on Teespring. And all the different, hoodies are up there, the different colorways, a lot of new color options. We also got new shirts up there, a little yes indeed action as well, man, for the culture, man. Plenty of new upgrades and more to come as we get close to the season. So, yeah, if you're looking for the hoodie or any of the other merchandise, the coffee mugs, the Yeti cups and stuff like that, yeah, just any of the videos that are on the page, they all have little merchandise under it. Just click on that, man. It'll take you right to the home page and you'll be good to go. All right, Cameron Sensing. And are we close to you yet? Where you at?
Well, it jumped again on me. Actually, that should have been the one, but now I'm at Official Momentum.
Oh, that's the next one. And we're
Okay.
good. Bro, right? Is it bro?
No, this is Deacon Moats.
Oh, so you're right under bro. Perfect. All right. He says, legit predictions for where the O-line finishes this year. Top 15 or too high? Much love for y'all and your families. Here we go. Now, shout out to you, man. We appreciate you from the heart. In terms of O-line predictions, I'm still waiting to see our on paper number one unit in stadium. We haven't seen that just yet with obviously Dotson being out. Dotson did return. So we're going to hopefully get that chance this weekend. These next couple of practices, they were in shells today. So like some people had, there's basically like there's little shoulder pads and shorts, but they will be in full pads tomorrow. So if Dotson is out there, once again, we'll see what unit he's running with. That'll give us some more context. Friday's practice is closed, and then after that, we got the game on Saturday. So, yeah, but once we get to see that full unit together with a Dotson included, I think that'll give me a better understanding because even rewatching Saturday's game, when I'm looking at James Daniel or Mason Cole play well, but I'm seeing Kendrick Green struggle on a particular play, it gives me it's hard to read that. It's hard to say, yeah, the play was a good when this guy's getting driven back, because we did say, even though Kendrick did some good things at times, he still had a handful of plays where it looked like a year ago. And it's just really hard to say that unit collectively is playing well when that person is giving up that type of movement. So we'll just see what that looks like. And also for Kendrick, man, if he can continue to hopefully put more of the good plays on tape that we did see in that first preseason game and less of those, so to speak, gory looking plays where he's just getting kind of ragdolled or big boyed and stuff.
Yeah, I'm saying ceiling probably top 15.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be a big upgrade from what we were last year, because I think we were bottom 3. So I'd say reasonable range is top 15 to top 20.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be pretty good for us. That'd be pretty significant, I think. So you can still win with that.
I would agree, man. I definitely would agree with that. All right, next up we got Official Momentum. He says, bro, Steelers are more scary than the Patriots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that, right?
For sure.
Yeah, because New England,
They're off. They don't have good weapons.
they
got good tight
they're
ends.
living with Tyquan Thornton.
Yeah.
That's the guy for them right now. Yeah. And they're going to see what Mac looks like. Even they said Mac was struggling with the new coordinator situation up there with Patricia and Joe Judge. So just seeing what that's going to look like as they continue to go forward and stuff.
They got good running backs, but
Yeah.
the receivers, I don't know what the hell they've been doing these last couple off seasons,
agree
because
with
they're
you.
spending a lot of money
They
just
are.
on bad guys.
I would agree. I definitely would agree.
Like with the money they've spent, you
Yeah.
should have someone like DeAndre Hopkins
But
or Stephon
it's
Diggs.
almost like they're doing what the Eagles used to do. Like before the
Right.
Eagles finally started hitting on it, it was like they would just bring in dudes and like,
Yeah, now the
what
Eagles
are
have
y'all
a ton of
doing?
receivers.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right, the official momentum I'm on is Deke Moats.
Yes.
Y'all want another story?
That was the one. That was
In
the
due
one.
time, my friend. In due
That was the
time.
one. Yeah, you can't have too many back to back like that. Come on now.
He says, after PR, Ambition almost got signed to Motown.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
He's on a little run here. We're just going to rattle off some official momentum
I was
chats.
here because I was gonna say, man, we're probably going to do 5 more minutes of the supers because I still wanted us to talk. Actually, we can do all supers today, and then we could, if we need to, just table the Jags Steelers talk for Friday. If we want, we could do that.
I think that makes sense.
Let's do that then. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, because we usually talk preview at least for half an hour.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, we're going to be rushing right now. So, yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Fish momentum. Steelers will win. We'll be Super Bowl 57 champs. Don't at me. Someone had a comment about the number 57 and how it's like a sign or an omen. And it makes sense as to why we should win the Super Bowl.
Well, I think because the 7 was in
Heinz 57.
The 7, Ben Roethlisberger. I'm with you, bro.
Heinz 57. Yeah. I forget the other reason. Oh, the first preseason game here. I think when you added the numbers together, the final score
57.
Yeah.
Man, this sounded like that Jim Carrey movie 23.
Pickett,
you know,
Pickett with the game-winning drive.
Hey, it was in 57 seconds, bro. Absolutely, man. Yep. I'm with it, bro. I'm dialing in.
I'm just saying there were a lot of good vibes, and the number 57 was involved.
Yeah, heck
and
yeah,
it's
man.
Super Bowl 57.
You think 7, bro? I think of like the number 5. I got 2 5s right there. And
5 was my favorite number growing up.
Oh, come on, bro. See, all right, I'm with you, bro. 7 minus 5 is 2. See, me and you. All right, come on, man. Yep.
Kenny 2 gloves. 2.
It's not a coincidence, bro. What round did we draft George Pickens?
2.
Okay, it's a sign, bro.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Fish momentum. What home games will you be at? We got to turn up.
I'm at every home game. I don't know if I'm staying for every home game. That's the difference. Because like I said, I'm down there for all the doing interviews and stuff. So yeah, I'm always gonna be down there. But in terms of if I'm staying, that's usually like a game time decision or like the day before decision. You know, I gotta check with wifey and see what's the plan. That's all. Yeah, but Deke be out here in these streets.
I hope to be at least.
You're gonna see Deke
at all of them. I hope.
Yeah, you'll definitely see Deke, man. You'll definitely see Deke out there.
I think I only missed the Broncos game last year.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then we went to a few of those away games. I had a pretty good attendance percentage. I think.
You was out there, man, and you started to make me feel bad about not showing up. Then I started showing up, and I didn't stop showing up. Yeah, man, I blame.
They were fun. I mean, as the season went on,
it was insane. We had to.
As broken as that team was.
We had to.
It was exciting.
Insane. It was insane, bro. One of the funnest times we've had.
Ravens game, yeah, even Titans
One
game.
One of the funnest times we've had,
the Browns game, the last Ben game.
Bro, one of the funnest times we've had. Let's be real. Like,
yeah.
That's part of the reason why I even contemplate, like, going back in there and just like, yo, I need to go to these games in person. Just because of how crazy they were at times. But I'm like, balance. All right.
Fish momentum. Shout out to Stan Claire.
Oh, what up, Stan Claire? Absolutely, man.
Second that. Says, Moats, give a good word for me. For a gig / ball boy.
Oh, okay.
He wants to be on them sidelines.
Man. Well, see?
He doesn't want to be paying for tickets anymore.
That's what he said, man. He said, put him out there, man. Put him to work. Get him one of them little vests. You know the dudes be on the side with the vest on and stuff.
Last one for official momentum. On this run, he says, trade Mason for Dobbs and a Permani sandwich. I'm good.
But Dobbs the homie, though.
Yeah, I got nothing against Dobbs.
Like, if Dobbs is anytime available, it's like, yo, that's the homie. Like, always got space for Dobbs. Always. Yeah.
I just feel like if we trade Mason, we got to be getting something extra in return. Like, why trade Mason? Like, if you think Mason's better than Dobbs, why agree. Just trade for him straight up? Yeah. We need a draft pick in return.
Fair enough.
Because that actually would make sense in terms of, like, okay, then we'd have our third quarterback on the roster in Dobbs.
And that is what they would be thinking if you were trading straight up Mason for Dobbs. You're saying that this quarterback is better than this quarterback. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we need something. Browns would have to give us like a 4th-round pick. Cameron Sensing. Also, how sick would it be to give Balls a walkout song for 40-plus yarders? Shout out to Edwin Diaz, the relief pitcher for the Mets, for the inspiration. Hines would be jumping. What would be Balls' song?
Dude, I don't know.
Because Diaz, he's got trumpets playing. That has to be something to do with his heritage, right?
Obviously, we knew about Into the Sandman.
That was Mariano Rivera.
I'm trying to think. Who else has, like... And no, it can't be Sticks. We already play Sticks. So
what is there a connection to Balls' name?
Probably go like Rolling Stones or something. Because, they always do like, they're like, I feel like they have like a loose connection with us in terms of like how we branded it. Right. Especially like at Hinesville and stuff. I would always like see the tongue. Like that was a part of their branding and part of our stuff as well.
Right. So what you're saying, it doesn't have to be a direct connection to Balls or like his name or anything like that.
But just like,
once you pick a song, once you pick a song and you're repetitive with it, then it becomes the song.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
I don't know a good one. I mean, I think it just comes down to that. Pick a popular song that gets people amped up and
it becomes Balls' song. It has to have a guitar in it too.
Kyle Wagner. Why is Deke so arrogant? Don't laugh at someone asking an NFL player how to get a job in the NFL. Damn. Very rude way to treat your followers to support you.
Holy smokes, Deke. God dang. You was laughing, Deke? I didn't know you laughed.
I might be laughing at that comment even more.
Oh, Jesus, Deke. Lord, that seemed personal. Hey, hold the caper. Holy smokes, man. No, man. I don't think, well, I can't speak for Deke, but just knowing Deke on a personal level, I don't think he's laughing in that context, man, in terms of like at a person, man. That's not Deke's energy in any scenario that I've seen him in, man. So if there was any type of miscommunication, that's that, but that's not Deke's energy from my perspective.
Good way to put it. I don't think I could have said it better myself. Official momentum. Besides Pickens and Johnson, what receivers will show out?
I'm hoping it's Calvin Austin, man. Because I feel like we're referring, or no, he's speaking on the season then. I think he was talking specifically for the preseason, but yeah, if we're talking just wide receivers that will show out, then I'm hoping that it's Claypool. I'm hoping that he's that other guy because we know what he can bring to the table when he is on, or if he is, being just the consistent player that he is, not slipping and falling, and consistently being a hands catcher and going up and getting the ball, man. But we're going to see what that looks like, though, right? Mm-hmm, we shall see, man.
Yeah, the top 3 receivers for us.
Yeah.
Should be elite.
Because we seen what George is putting together right now, and Deontay is still one of them dudes. He's been back out there at practice, and he looking good. He's back.
You know how we've talked about where our receivers rank amongst the NFL as a unit? Weren't we, top 10 or 12 going into this? And it just wasn't even us doing this.
This
was
like
NFL.com.
Yes, correct.
I mean, seeing how Pickens is playing, and I think we could be hitting the top 10, top 5 very, very soon.
And we aren't even
might even
about
already
Pat
be there.
Fryer move. Just think about that. That doesn't even include what he brings to the table. Yeah.
Fish Momentum says, AOD, cancel culture coming for you.
What you done, D?
I know he's definitely talking about the comment right there from Kyle saying
that was a real thing.
I was disrespectful,
bro.
Laughing.
I really didn't see this. What was I doing? I guess I was so locked in on talking that
I laughed, dude. I laughed as soon as the comment came in. I laughed. I mean, yeah,
all right.
I found it funny.
It was just a little chuckle. All right. Teach their own, man. Teach their own. I get it.
What can I say? I found it funny.
All right.
If I'm getting canceled for that, so be it. I'm sorry. Moats, let me know. Am I done?
It's way worse things you get canceled
Moats,
for.
if you got to ask me, just let me know.
Yo, you gotta
Is that
chill,
it?
Deke. You gotta chill. We're going to the next comment. That's where we're going right now, Deke. All right, we're going to the next comment,
King
man.
Stacks, I think I did that pretty good. Moats and Deke, tell my brother the Eagles suck. He's next to me watching the show and click the like button. The Eagles do suck.
They definitely suck. Without a doubt, they do.
We are the premier program.
You better
in the
believe
state
it,
of Pennsylvania.
man. It's no fly Eagles fly around here, man. It's always here we go. The only thing y'all good over there for is cheesesteaks. That's it, man.
Camonier. A real cows love what? I think maybe he's trying to say relax.
He's saying real cows love Deke because the other guy's name that had the
Kyle Wagner
his name was
and
Kyle.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
So he's saying, the real cows love you.
Look at this stuff. We're getting support in the chat now.
Yeah. It's just
I didn't even have to do anything.
Yeah, man. Because they know your integrity. They know your integrity. That's why, bro.
King Stacks. And do we pay Claypool next year to ask a question? Huh?
What you mean?
I think he did a Yoda move on us.
Oh,
I'm asking a question.
Yeah, but
do we pay Claypool?
Do we pay? It's like, do we pay Claypool? Just ask the question on that. Do we pay him? To me personally, if Deontay is who he is,
I don't think we have to. It's going to be the same situation.
By saying
with Deontay,
Pickens
right?
is who Pickens is, then yeah, I don't see why you would pay Chase because Chase is going to want market or close to his market value. And based on what we currently have and what George is developing into potentially, it's like, man, why would you commit that type of money to him, even though Chase will probably be deserving of it? But that's one of those scenarios where it's like, man, we appreciate the heck out of you. We want you to get paid. We just know it's not going to be here. Kind of like how guys viewed Mike Hilton at times. Like, yo, you're phenomenal. You should get a bag. But we know they're not going to do it here. And it's certain players like that. You just understand it. And Chase might fall into that category.
Chad jumped on me.
All right, we're
at 6:30 now too. So do you have like a 10-minute grace period or something? We can rattle these off.
Hottest 10.
Okay.
Let's go. All right. Let's see. We got R Barley 18. He says we should try and get something from Mason. Sign a PJ Washington or a Tyler Huntley. Excuse me on that. He says for cheaper and have a Jackson prep guy for the 2 Ravens weeks. Thoughts? Well, I like the Jackson threat or the Jackson prep guy. I do like that. But if you're Baltimore, I'm not giving up Tyler Huntley. Why would I do that? He is the carbon copy of what you have in a Lamar Jackson. Obviously not to the same full extent and full potential from a productivity element, but he fits what they want to do perfectly. You think about when Lamar went down last year, their offense was still able to run. It was just, you got your turnovers and their team was already beat up at that time, so it was less than optimal when you took Lamar out. But, yeah, I don't see, if you're Baltimore, why you would want to move Tyler Huntley. PJ Washington, he's kind of interesting. Definitely kind of interesting. I just don't know if I value trading for a guy with the thought process being that they're a 2-week preparation guy, especially when I got a Chris Oladuke in here.
Right.
I would much rather roll with Chris and say, hey, you be my guy that does that 2 weeks at a time or 2 weeks per year, but hopefully you're developing into one of those unicorns yourself. And now we could have maybe how RG3 and Kirk Cousins, how both of those guys were able to be franchise quarterbacks or second contract guys. Obviously, RG got hurt, and that changed a lot for him, but that kind of being the mindset, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Official Momentum says, we need more women in this chat. Fair enough. I mean, the women, we do have a good amount, though. When you talk about your Leah Warrens, you talk about your Trina Stowe Divas, obviously you got Stephanie Ramirez, you love, and Madden. She be a little, she be here and there and every once in a while. Let me think, who else? You got up in Michigan, East Lansing.
Did you say Steelers girl?
Steelers girl. That's what I was thinking about. Steelers girl up in East Lansing, Michigan. Absolutely. But no, I agree, man. When I do look at the numbers, I do see that our women group is growing. It is doing that. Maybe not so much in the group chat or in the chat all the way, but it is.
The chat might
growing.
intimidate them a little bit.
It could be at times. It might be that. But no, I definitely have seen that. And there's some of the things that me personally, I'm trying to figure out how to target them a little bit more to just let them know that, hey, man, it's all love over here, man. Yeah, we support you. Pull up, So we are working on those things as well, man. But I do agree, man. So if you know any ladies that are Steeler fans and they need to hop in the chat, they want to watch some shows, man, tell a friend to tell a friend. There we go, baby. All right, Mike Lang. He says, am I the only one concerned about the offensive line's depth? No, I don't think you're the only one that's concerned with that. I think a lot of us are concerned in some elements. I just think that when we talk depth, O-line isn't the position that scares me. It's outside linebacker. Outside linebacker petrifies me when I'm looking at the starting 2-minute drill, and the outside linebackers are Derek Tuska and James Vaughters. That scares me. When it's my dog Rondell Carter, JMU Dukes.
Come on, dude. Where's the faith?
But it's him and it's Derek. It's like, dude, like, I need to see more. And I told you this, even coming back from that game, it's like, man, I was high on a Delonte Scott for what he could do in a pass rushing element, but you get him in the game and it wasn't there. So now it has me thinking, are you a practice only guy or can you do it in the stadium with the lights on? With Derek, it's like Derek has shown that he is competent, but if Derek had to start, because that's what it comes down to, right? Alex Highsmith is out with a rib injury. So think about, this will be 2 games right now. If Derek had to start 2 games, how are we feeling about that?
Not great.
Think about how much time collectively TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith missed last year. We at least had Melvin Ingram the first couple of weeks to handle all that. Made us feel really confident. We felt good. Now you take him out, and that's a Derek Tuska. Not taking a shot at Derek, but I'm just saying in the context of calibers of players, that to me is the disconnect. So that's why for me, I'm more concerned there than I am with offensive line, because I think we still have a Joe Haig. We have, even a Kendrick Green, who we talk about and we know his flaws. He's still, the amount of starts, the amount of plays that he had accumulated last year, you still feel good about that as a backup. J.C. Hastner, another guy, started multiple games for us in this league. You still feel good about him as a backup. So, and I can remember I said LeGlue, but if not, then LeGlue. And if I did say LeGlue, then I said Haig. Then so one or the other. But those are the dudes that I still feel like we got some options for,
Yeah, we just signed a dude too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm
William
Dunkel. His
Dunkel.
name. Yeah, Yep.
Versatile guy coming out of San Diego State. Eagles dropped him, and there's got to be a reason we signed him if we picked him up like that.
Right away,
snap
too.
of a finger.
Yeah,
he could play left guard, right guard. That could be something we need.
Absolutely, man. So I still feel good. And think about this: saying the crazy, multiverse that Kendrick Green does end up being the starter week 1. So you tell me we got a Kevin Dotson as the number 2 guy. I still feel really good about the depth once again. All right. Official Momentum, he says, Devin Bush out here playing Where's Waldo? Lord have mercy.
Oh, I'm back.
Oh,
I
you
can,
back?
I can
Oh,
read
my
off
goodness.
the chats.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, you bring up a point. I get it. I'm just hoping that, today is a new day. And then tomorrow's another day. And that one of them days is going to click. Yeah.
He also says, shout out to Allison Rooker. I don't know her.
Off the top of my head, I'm not familiar right now.
King Stacks, I'm single now. Tell Trina Steele Diva to holla at me. LOL. I'm kind of drunk. Don't mind me, guys.
Turn up, King Stacks, man. Trust me, we're never against, a person just communicating their feelings. You know me. I'm always a big believer in you communicate your feelings. Do it respectfully, though.
He paid it. He paid for it, too.
You got to communicate your
He put
feelings.
his money where his mouth was.
I can dig it. Now, for Trina, that's on her if she wants to, entertain it. But I can't fault him if he, just wanted to shoot his shot. You got to shoot a shot, man. So I understand, man. I definitely understand. Yeah, man, we're never shoot. I'm not married if I don't shoot my shot. You know what I mean? We all got to shoot a shot. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Exactly.
Start somewhere. Yeah.
Fish Momentum says trade Bush to Quaker Valley High School football.
Ooh, jeez. I can
Tough
see
trade.
That I don't know how we could pull it off. We can make it work.
AJ Martinez, when are the live space talks?
Man, so the live space talks are directly after each Steelers game, man. So we ran. We started about 15 minutes right after right after the game ended. So that way, I figured, man, if you had to run to the bathroom, or if you you're just doing whatever, give you a little bit of that little buffer. Then after that, man, live right there, man. Run about 60 minutes. That's the goal. Keeping it at that 60 minute. That's the time I'm allowed to get y'all. I'm just keep it real, cause I got family, baby. But I get an hour. All right. So you get an hour live. That's how we doing those space talks like that, man. So pretty much 15 minutes after the game ends, right in that time frame, and for those 60 minutes, man, that's how I do it. All right.
Young Poppy Bonito, we got like 3 minutes.
Yeah,
so
let's cook it. We'll cook.
Rattle through these.
We'll cook.
It's tough to see defensive back struggles like this. Being a
Devin
Michigan
Bush.
and
Devin Bush struggled like this.
Good call. Being a Michigan and Steeler fan makes sense. Is why he's talking about Devin Bush. I love the Pickett first. I think we all did.
Yeah, him coming out of Michigan, man. You saw the energy, him stumping on the logos and all that, man. We thought that we were gonna get more.
Yeah,
of
where's that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fish Momentum. The three blind mice, Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder, can do better at linebacker than Bush. Official Momentum. He's usually on positive vibes. Yeah.
Lord,
what happened to Fish Momentum?
Lord.
He's got a chip on his shoulder.
Official. Ooh, he said, yo, Devin, I'm tired of it. He said, I'm tired of it, man.
Tristan Love, did you guys know James Conner came to Pitt to be a defensive end but switched to running back? Yeah, I didn't know that. Very impressive on how well his career has went with the limited time at a running back.
No, I did know that. That was something that me and Connor joked about, actually, man. He was like, nah, bro, I just do what you do. I was a pass rush. I'm like, James, you stick over there to that running back, all right, baby? You stick on over there. You run belly. You run power, okay? You run counter. That's what you run. Leave all that defense stuff to us. Yeah.
The Analyzer says the chat is spicy.
No, it's super spicy today, man.
AJ Martinez, 8 will be great if he gets rid of the ball under 3 seconds. If not, he won't survive. He won't survive the season. He's got that mobility, though.
This is true.
Sean McCartney, I like Bush. Hope he improves, but this could have all been avoided if we drafted Darius Leonard over Edmonds.
Fair, but we didn't know Darius Leonard was going to be what Darius Leonard is. He was coming from a small school at South Carolina State versus Devin Bush coming out of Michigan. That's all. Or even in Edmonds situation, Edmonds coming out of Virginia Tech. So, yeah.
Fish Momentum, Aaron Rodgers mad at his young receiving core.
I told you why he called them boys out.
Fish Momentum says Lynn Swan or Jerome Bettis story next. I didn't know he had a Bettis story in the works.
Okay. All right.
Also says Steelers need to walk out to Deke's band.
What's the name again?
Tommy Vincent, Ball's walkout song. Can I Kick It?
Yes, he can.
By Tribe Called. That would be good. Actually, that's not bad.
That'd be low-key hard.
I like that. Fish Momentum says, Deke, I got your back, bro. Send him my way. We don't want any violence here. We don't want any violence. Hey, he's got a boxing emoji in it, though.
I saw that, man.
Official Momentum is on one today.
He said, yo, he would whatever. Whoever want the smoke, he got time for y'all. We're going to check in on Official. We're going to say, hey, Official, you got woosah, baby. We're going to woosah you.
Cameron Sensing says, Tommy spitting facts. Eric Long, don't speak to Deke like that. You dig?
Ooh, okay. Well, we appreciate you guys taking up for Deke, but no hostility, baby, because it's all love. Because at the end of the day, it's just sports. And that's the thing that I always try to hit home. I know we're going to go over a little bit right here. But I did see the thing about Akib Talib's or excuse me, I said Kip Talib. Excuse me on that. Yeah, the DB though, with Denver and how his brother shot a daggone dude at a high school football or a youth football game, man, arguing over the daggone game. That's serious to the point.
that was his brother.
Yes,
He killed a
dude.
guy.
Absolutely. Over just arguing about a call that happened. He felt like the ref didn't call it right. The other guy goes to get the ball. He kicks it off the field. So they end up taking it to the parking lot, fussing. He shoots the dude, kills him. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's
bro,
terrible.
this is a game, bro. It's football. It's a game. So, yeah, it's never that serious. In any
Kenneth Moses
capacity,
is
it's a
saying the
game, bro.
757 got my back.
Oh, okay. Crib on him. You know. Deke, I've already told you on this numerous occasions. You know I ain't gonna leave you out there like that.
Appreciate it.
But either way, though, man, we nonviolent, man.
Caleb
You know?
Cole, any Madden later today, Deke? Not today. I'm busy today. After this, I got band practice.
Where y'all practicing at?
Just bass player's house.
What's his name again?
Nah, he tries to keep it low key.
Fair enough.
AJ Martinez, yo, Deke is a cool cat. He's just misunderstood. QB Jesus PTSD. Hello,
is.
I got your back, Deke Digler.
Love it, man. And this
Yo,
thing is like 3 left. We'll be
Yo
good.
Young. Good to see Kenny with the ones on the 2-minute drill Tuesday. Here we go. I think we
Nah,
all can
facts,
agree with that.
Facts on that, man.
Roscoe Smokes, driving from Vegas to Florida. Baby wife and 80-pound Zeus.
Oh, that's the big boy dog. Let's go.
There you go.
Nah, I love that, man. And safe travels as well, man. Absolutely.
Last
Let's
one.
go.
Feels right that it's official momentum. He says, I'm good, guys. Care for the podcast family.
There it is. Nah, respect, man. Hey, as a whole, we appreciate each and every one of y'all, though, man. Super chats, regular chats, everybody that's viewing us, man, that doesn't even hit anything in the chat, man. We really appreciate y'all support. And yeah, man, shout out to each and every one of y'all, man. You know, we be back in this thing on Friday, having some more fun with it as well. If you didn't get a chance to hear that Mike Logan interview live, definitely check that out on the replay as well. But anywho, until next time, baby.
Peace.